we've got ourselves a stone cold killer right here. This is a person right now who wants us to believe him over all of the evidence.
Here in a second. Whichever these two you guys like, I don't know if you want the closest one right now. Okay.
Can I say something?
Sure.
Pop, I thought you were one of the kids.
What's the idea?
Oh.
I wasn't giving my trailer back, am I?
It's not gonna be,
that.
it's gonna be a minute. Might not be a long
I'm
minute.
giving up a minute.
Okay.
Okay, you don't need to tell me.
Let me tell you something. April. I'll tell you right now. Just so we're on the same page. Erick is right here. Okay? Steve babysat by one of my troopers. He's in here. I'm David Grunwald. He's in here. He's
Good.
just clean walls. I just want you to know that.
Well, we want to know. Do you know why?
That part I know.
I don't know about any of this.
I know, right? Thank you.
Nobody knows why.
Erick knows why.
Yeah.
The people that did this with him probably know why. But it doesn't matter, really.
Yeah.
I'd like to know why.
I can tell you it was self-defense.
Huh?
I can tell you it was not self-defense. Not just
Did they tell you where the body is?
we'll get there.
Huh?
Nope. Oh, God. Okay. So from the beginning of this investigation, your son was a person of interest. The reason he was a person of interest is because we knew that David Grunwald had told other people that David Grunwald, David Evans, and your son were going to hang out after dropping off Victoria, his girlfriend. Okay? So right away, when David doesn't have to show up anywhere, the two people we need to talk to are your son and David Evans. Because they were the
Okay, but can we stop right there? If he didn't run around with Grunwald, and David Evans had been gone all week, why did David Evans, how did he get to Grunwald? And why did they come to my house if he had been gone a week?
And why did you not question Evans as much as you questioned Erick?
I spent exponentially more time with Mr. Evans than I did with your son.
Because
Those are the questions
the
I
first
wanted.
week you only talked to him once. And you've been to my house, and I've had you guys to my house 4 times in the first week.
You,
Okay, go on. But those are questions I want to know.
sure, and I'm going to tell you this right away. And, some of your questions I'm going to answer, and some I'm not going to, just to protect the integrity. I'm going to tell you I can't answer that. Not that I don't want to, it's just that I need to protect the integrity of this
Like
investigation.
your parents do when you're trying to
Until I get an
go through.
attorney, then you would have to give it to the attorney when they ask for it.
It's separate, absolutely. But that's down the road. I'm talking about right now. So your son, person of interest, from the beginning, he really is. Through the investigation, which is now, we're looking at 2.5 weeks old. Okay. Throughout the investigation, we had a pool of people that we were looking at as potential suspects, and that pool through our investigation was narrowed. Now, one of the people left in that pool was Erick. There are other people. I'm not going to tell you who, but I'm going to tell you there are other people left in that pool. This, like I said already, isn't the first meeting with parents I've had today or even this week. So, Moving along. The first interview that I did with Erick, he told me that he was in Anchorage.
Right, because that's what he told me
He told you the same thing.
before all this.
He told me that he took Premier Taxi to Anchorage. Didn't remember how much it cost. Okay. And he said that he went from Anchorage out to Sutton, and he went from Sutton back basically to
Right, because that's what he told me before you even came around.
He did not take a cab ride to Anchorage. He did not go to Anchorage. He did not go to Sutton. Your son was smoking weed and drinking with David Grunwald in your trailer. He's parked outside your house. And during that, something happened. I can't tell you what. Only Erick knows what. And during that,
I keep asking, where the fuck are you getting all this alcohol from? You need to throw this shit away.
I have to go look at the boxes and in
either way,
my house.
either way,
You have hard liquor in there?
Darla has 2 huge boxes of hard liquor.
well, I'd be willing to bet if you checked his room, you'd see that there's a ton of hard liquor in his room. I know because
I know, that I saw it, and I'm going, where the fuck you get all this shit from?
So moving forward, your son obviously through our investigation, we determined that he was lying just about going to Anchorage, he was lying just about going to Sutton, he was lying just about where his statement was in anywhere around there. As a result of that, obviously we searched one search warrant to the tablet, we downloaded the tablet.
They took pictures of this?
Here's your trail.
No, they took pictures?
No.
Oh, were they?
They took pictures, but not at the, if you're asking if they took pictures of the homicide, they did not. This was a picture on your son's tablet.
Right. We know that.
I find that kind of interesting, that he's labeling
I
himself.
didn't because
They've done that for a
I've
long
seen,
time.
yeah, I've seen stuff like that
For a
already.
couple of years.
Here's it's called a photo lineup or a 6-pack. Here's your son, obviously, and this is what we showed to the cab driver that ended up giving him a ride. The night that he got picked up about half a mile away from David's Bronco, it got burned down.
You know what?
Half hour after David's Bronco got burst.
There was a cab ride from there?
Are they not stupid? Yeah. Okay.
So fast forward, we come to your house, we take a look at your trailer. That's your trailer.
Well, at least it's staying dry.
It is.
You know, I was gonna tell you, you need to wrap it.
It's warmed up.
Wait a minute. He died on what day? Sunday? He died on the Sunday. And Erick was home Sunday?
Sunday morning.
I didn't even hear a freaking gun go off.
I can't hear it, so I'm really screwed.
Well, I'm just gonna explain something.
Okay, that's the same method I've seen since I closed the thing up when I told the kids to get the hell out.
Into the naked eye. Stuff like
Well,
that.
actually, where's the fuck's my rug?
Where's your rug? I know where it's at.
Okay, so you have the rug then, because there was a rug that was a runner.
It's covered in blood. That's why it's not in there.
I didn't even fucking notice.
This picture may not mean much to you right now, just by looking at it. We got some stickers and a tape measure on the wall. But this picture is the same picture with what we have that it illuminates blood in the dark. Okay?
I told you.
That's leftover from when he tried to clean up the
Yeah,
beach.
I know. You can't ever get rid of it. They should be watching movies, huh?
This is just a picture of, you're looking into the trailer through the screen door, obviously.
You know, I've never been. I only I've never seen it.
It's a turn and diddle. This is the screen door. Open the door, you're going inside, right?
I've
Okay,
never looked in it.
Well, this is a similar picture there on the wall. We have more blood dripping down the wall. This is your bathroom, obviously. To the naked eye, it looks like it's clean.
it doesn't even fucking work.
But around the wall, this is a terrible picture. We have high velocity spatter.
Yep.
And we have all these marks here. Terrible, terrible blurred picture. I don't know why we picked that one, but we did. That's the entrance. You recognize that as the entrance?
Yeah.
Now, moving next.
Fuck all my movies.
This doesn't look like anything to the naked eye.
The blue light.
But I can tell you right now, after being in your trailer while this photo was being taken, this is the best I can do with a photocopier. The impression left behind by David Grunwald's body and the pool of blood that surrounded it. This is an imprint of what we call a void. There's no blood here, torso, arms, and that's your trailer. I know that this is impossible to fathom as a parent, but I'm telling
How
you,
do these kids get that? And why do I mean, talk to him every night,
I'm telling
Every
you,
day.
telling him when he comes home from school, if you want to tell me something, it's all right. We will get somebody in the help, but you have to tell the truth. What did he say to me? Why do you think he's dead? He's not dead.
That's what he kept telling me.
well,
Cause he goes, we talked about something and I can't remember what the hell it was, but fake ID came up.
Yeah, he said
And he
that's
goes-
all got it.
He goes, the only person that knew how to make those was Grunwald.
there's a lot of speculation surrounding this case, but
What the hell?
in this
Can you
society.
tell me anything about the Grunwald kid? Because supposedly he was a good kid, but
That's what
apparently,
Eric said.
He's a good kid.
apparently not.
The only reason he's not a good kid, honestly, he smokes weed. He smokes weed. That's his worst that's his worst flaw in life. And you know,
You don't want to go there with me and that stuff.
No, but I'm telling you as a person, he's a 16-year-old boy who worked all summer to afford that truck, okay? He has a curfew that he abides by. He's got a long-time girlfriend. He goes to a charter school that you don't just get into, you gotta apply. He's thinking about, he's leaning forward and taking college classes as a 16-year-old boy so that he can get a better
We
job.
read all that online.
But that's true. David was a good kid. He's a good
When
kid.
he ran with that, who's looking for help?
Well,
Evans had to caught him, he's doing it. He's a very good talker.
Okay.
Easily that.
let's not focus too much on David Evans. Let's focus on your son and his involvement. Because that's where I want to go with this, and we can't do anything about David Evans tonight. Your son can do something about this, okay?
Did you even check all of David Evans' clothes? He just dumped all over the bed and cooked the mattresses for blood splatter on all those clothes in the house.
That's why he came in and took a shower. At my house.
David Grunwald was still alive when David Evans took a shower at your house.
Well, was it?
I'm not going to tell you that. Let's focus not on David Evans. Let's focus on Erick and see what we can do here. Now I'm going to tell you the thing that I want to do when I bring Erick in here. I don't need Erick to say anything. I really don't. I do want him to say something, and here's why. He's got his whole life ahead of him. He's 16 years old. No, he still does. He still does. There's a potential that this isn't as bad as he could make it by saying, figure it out. I've talked to the district attorney. That's the person who makes the charging decisions.
Yeah, we know.
He told me to pass on to you, and to Erick, that his cooperation in this investigation will absolutely help himself out. It'll be taken into
I
consideration.
tried that the other night when you guys were at the house.
Sometimes we have a different pull when we're in this.
Now you're in a different position with it.
And so that's kind of where I want to go with this. Now I want you to know, my job as an Alaska State Trooper, the sergeant that runs the unit that investigates homicides, my job is to obviously investigate this crime and then hold people responsible for it. That's my job. Now, your son is responsible for this, partially, fully. It's up to him to decide what portion of this he wants to take responsibility for. I already know that. But then I start to lean forward here and I say, I want Erick to put himself in the position of anybody reading this report or looking at these photos, which is, by the way, this is the tip of the iceberg. Okay? My photo stack is this tall. And then put themselves in the position of a person looking at that report, being on the jury, being the judge, being whoever associated with this case, who do they want to believe? The person who cooperates or the person who goes, figure it out?
Right.
I want Erick to be the person that cooperates.
He's not in that mood.
Well, we'll see if we can change it.
It's gonna change really fucking fast.
I'm gonna go snatch up Erick out of the next one. We're gonna bring him in. Rodney, I need your help here.
Was there anything of interest on any of this on the laptop that you took? Not mine. Because the other pad is, I'm gonna throw up, is grandma's.
Which one? The tablet?
Yeah.
No, not the tablet. You said you took 2 computers.
2 HPs. One was your HP, one was another HP that was in Erick's room, and then I took the second
It's
HP.
all black.
Yeah, I got that. It's in
And it's a touch screen. It's the other.
That's my other computer. I'm not smart enough for it.
I haven't even started to look at those because I wanted to get yours back, so I made that priority. So I can't tell you whether or not there's anything on there. Which one of those was Erick using? The touchscreen one? He was using one of them to communicate with people.
I can't answer that question because I don't know.
They were both in his room though, so
Yeah, because
There's a lot of them in the room.
either one. I didn't
because
even look at
one moves slow and the other moves fast. You can't play World of Warcraft on the slow one. You have to play World of Warcraft on the faster, slow one.
Okay. Well, I'd like to bring Erick in here and see if he has anything to say for himself. What do you think? Dad, I'm gonna make sure that we're on the same page with what's gonna happen next,
You
okay?
just have to calm down because we're already in deep shit.
You guys aren't in any kind of trouble as far as I know.
Well, we're talking about the child here.
Okay.
Look, I'm also looking at another fucking picture here, and this picture is, what are the parents gonna do? What are they gonna do? They're going to sue, civil court.
Well, they can't sue me. I ain't got nothing.
I ain't got nothing.
I think that's probably one of the further things on their mind right now.
And you know, I'm not gonna just say yay or nay on that because in this world, that's all people think about is when look at the one woman. Her freaking husband wasn't even dead 24 hours and she already started a lawsuit.
Now, one of the things,
Not here, but you know, but
one of the things I'm gonna do here, and I've done in the past, and I will continue to do if I think it'll help, is I'm gonna ask, if we get to the point where Erick's talking, but he's just still lying, and he's not giving up any information, and it's clear to me that he's not going to give up any information. Sometimes I find that kids don't want to give up that information in front of their parents because they're embarrassed. So, I'm not gonna tell you you have to leave. I'm gonna tell you that we have a TV you can watch this on, and it doesn't have to be from this room. At any point you can bang on the wall and we can stop if you're not happy with where it's going. But it's been my experience that the kids tend to be more honest with a stranger than they are with the dad.
sure thing you've been honest with you as a stranger, hasn't it?
Well, and I get that. Well, that's okay. So,
He also doesn't want to go to jail being known as the snitch. Because he says
He doesn't like to give
they're going to know him when he
I'm
gets
not a
in
name
there.
dropper, I'm not a name dropper.
I tell you what, I'll make him a deal. I won't even ask him anything about anybody else who would like to be a snitch. He just has to tell about his responsibility. Because guess what? Everybody else already has. He's the last one.
Oh,
There were more than 2 people in my fucking trailer.
We're ready to grab him?
go get it.
The only other, you know, I don't know if anybody else that was there besides David. I can't say if there was anybody else there besides David. I didn't see Dominic until the next day.
Did you look at the trash can there enough?
Oh no, I'm just gonna throw it all over the place.
Oh, no.
You better get
They have
this
to
right
leave it.
there.
We're leaving it there.
Dry clean it.
Pretty quick, and we'll drop, so we'll get it over here.
Hey, I'm gonna get the advice.
Unhandcuffed.
Yeah, we'll make sure that's how we get a key for these. Hang on, would you mind over? You got a key. in my back seat,
Take the handcuffs off, you want you to leave your hand back here, you understand?
5 bottles of water, just throw them in. You got a case in the back seat. Thank you. All right. So you may or may not know exactly what we're doing here. Before we get too far ahead of ourselves, just one thing we have to get straight, and that is your rights. You're in a police station. Came in handcuffs. Clearly not free to leave. You're a juvenile. So I read the juvenile Miranda warning. You have the right to remain silent, understand?
Yes, sir.
Anything you say can be used against you in a court of law, understand that?
Yes, sir.
You have the right to talk to a lawyer and have him present with you while you're being questioned, understand?
Yes, sir.
If you cannot afford to hire a lawyer, one will be appointed to represent you before any questioning, if you wish, understand that?
Yes, sir.
You have the right to have your parent or guardian notify you being with me before you talk to me. They're obviously here. And you have the right to consult with your parent or guardian prior to any questioning. They're right here during this. And you have the right to have them not be here if you choose to. You can just, that's a bottle of water for us. You can decide at any time to exercise these rights, not answer any questions or make any statements. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand each of these rights as I've explained to you?
Yes, sir.
Having these rights in mind, do you wish to talk to us about your involvement in David Grunwald's disappearance?
Eric, it's over, okay? I just saw the pictures of the inside of my trailer. You guys did a really shitty job at cleaning up all the blood splatter everywhere. Don't.
Can I see it?
It's very important, okay? I can't help you if you don't help me, okay? We've all had enough of the lying for so long now. Now is the time. The DA has said, if you cooperate, things are going to go a lot easier on you.
So if you didn't pull the trigger, we need to know that. If you just stood by, we need to know.
It's going to get worse, and you're going to get the full book instead of a partial book. Okay? I can't believe my son would be a part of this. Of all things. We want to know why.
Why?
What did he have that you wanted?
Nothing.
Then why?
Somebody.
Didn't I just tell you I didn't have anything to do with this?
Why isn't it in our trailer then?
I know, didn't it get broken into?
No.
It really did though.
Eric, you need to stop this. This is enough. You fancy yourself smarter than everybody else. You're beat. You've lost. The opportunity now sits in front of you to take advantage of the chance to come clean, take responsibility for your portion, move on with life. You're 16 years old. You got your whole life ahead of you.
The breaking in was from you that night. Because I picked up all the fucking tools off the ground and stuff, remember? And I stuck them on my couch in the garage.
That was the day after.
It doesn't matter. They were still laying on the ground from that night. You had to get in it.
The day after you went away. We came back and got a bunch of pizza bites.
You had to go in there. After looking at the picture, I didn't even realize that my rug runner was gone. Because you had to get rid of that. That's where my green extension cord is. Because you used it to tie it up around David.
The green extension cord is at Melissa's house. We brought it there.
That part's true.
Then why didn't you tell me that when I asked about it?
Because you didn't know where I was.
Why don't you tell them where you were?
I was at Mrs. R.
Well, that's only partially true. Why don't you start at the beginning?
I started the beginning with you, and he already knows as much as you know.
Okay,
That's where you're wrong, Eric.
Cindy, when this happened, you were home when David walked in the back door. You had been with him earlier? Well then,
No.
how could,
Because David just come walking down, I would have to be outside, and he just come walking up.
He just walked down the door, and I was like, I asked him where he came from later, and he said David Grunwald dropped him off.
and then,
I said, okay. Another hour came, I left, went to Melissa's house.
I'm gonna email you though.
but Alyssa saying no.
Alyssa definitely said yes.
I'll be back. Actually, I'll send it to your mother.
Not on the table.
Eric,
They were questioning.
Eric, just please. Just please.
If you weren't in that trailer, who was in our trailer?
Grandma, he was in the trailer. It was him.
I wanna hear what he says.
He's going to lie to you if he tells you he's not in the trailer.
Did you get,
I don't like to let people lie to me, and I'm not gonna let them lie to you either.
Who was in the trailer?
It's disrespectful.
you have fingerprints of all the people that were in there?
Disrespectful for him to lie to you. I told you I'm not gonna give you the.
I know, but his,
Eric, if we bring your mother in, will you tell her?
I'll tell him everything that
Eric,
Do you realize,
I do want to talk to her, I haven't talked to her in a while.
do you,
And if I did, I would want to talk to her out of here. I would talk to her in person in private.
you can't leave.
Alright, so I'll get into the part of the
You're
story.
going straight to jail from here.
Let me just lay it out for you, okay? Because clearly you still think that somehow by lying you can get out of this. That part is over. You are bought and paid for. It's a done deal. You are not the first person to sit in that chair. I'm gonna let that marinate for just a second. You think for 1 second that your friends who are involved in this and who have knowledge of this, you think that Devin, Dominic, Bradley Renfro, you think that any of those guys are gonna sit there and take a fall for you?
No.
Zero chance. Okay? So,
I feel like if I had something to do with it, then they definitely would be close to me.
they would not.
They would not. Nobody takes the fall for somebody.
you are bought and paid for, brother.
Why would they would take the fall for me if I did this. They would. I know that on everything, and everything I've ever believed in.
You're
Well, that's wrong.
Well, now you're wrong.
You
And
think
you wanna know why? We're here. They have my trailer. They have the photos of the blood splatter all over. I just looked at them. Grandma just looked at them. I can't believe you keep playing it.
No, I told you, I
Is that not
can't
reasonable?
help him. No, it's not reasonable.
No, what I say will be fucking taken.
You think a law
It's because you keep lying.
Right, so.
You get right.
I lied 2 times to you.
No.
And now it keeps,
Yeah.
now apparently,
You
everything I
continue to lie.
said.
You
You're
continue to
still
lie.
lying.
And you may lie to your grandmother, and you may lie to your father, but I'm not gonna lie to you like this. It's not how I roll. I'm not an a-hole. I don't have, listen to me.
They followed the
Just
evidence.
listen to me for a second. I'm going to go home, and I'm going to sleep in my own bed tonight. Whether you talk here tonight is inconsequential to me. What I'm giving you the opportunity to do, as a 16-year-old kid who's got his whole life ahead of you, is to cooperate with this investigation so that you can have some semblance of consideration during this, the court case that's coming before you. It's happening. You're going to jail tonight over this, and I didn't throw a dart at the map and end up with you. You did this. You need to know, I know, and I'm not going to let you just say, nah, it wasn't me, and get away. That's not how it works.
lying about it?
You killed David for nothing. Literally no lie. You didn't even get any money from him. You got weed. You don't need
You
weed.
killed him over weed.
No.
Why the hell would you shoot somebody over weed?
Right? Tell me the logic in that.
Exactly, that's why we wanna know why would you do
Do I
that?
seem like a logical person?
Not right now, the blood splatter proves you weren't logical at all.
It proves that that was me.
You're saying it wasn't you? Tell us who it was.
It couldn't have been me,
Oh.
I don't know who it was, but
That's
what
terrible.
does it say about
You're a
I told you to come down here, we're in the middle of trying to,
all that
if I
stuff?
step outside, will someone let me in the door, or can I step outside the back door?
Alright, so if you step outside, you can't get back in. Who are you trying to let in?
I'm not letting anybody in, I'm talking to his mother on the phone.
Okay. Yeah, I just can't have you running around posting.
No, I just want to step outside the back door and have a cigarette so I don't puke.
Thank you.
Tell the truth, please. So what?
You probably think.
Hey, Tony, can you resend that?
Resend it, got it.
Send it to Chuck.
You probably think that you're holding out hope, if you will, that that if I don't show you a ton of proof, that somehow we don't have it. Yeah. You are, listen to me, you, right now, you're barking at the door of trying to convince me that you had nothing to do with this when you are all over this investigation. 100%, okay? And I'm telling you, you think that your buddies will stand up for you. They didn't. It didn't happen. I don't tell anybody what anybody else says.
Is
But
that
I'm telling
the
you,
egg?
No, he's just one of my best friends, I don't know what.
you know what his problem is? He's looking out for himself. He doesn't want to be involved in the murder investigation.
It
So then
happens every time.
Why'd you go to his house and ask for advice?
What do you mean?
You know what I mean. You went to his house after you guys got done killing David. I know you look up to Devin. I get that, man. But Devin don't want to have nothing to do with the murder investigation. And he didn't kill David.
Is that the kid who was at my house Saturday
What do you mean?
when we got back from the show?
That was Andrew.
And
Look, man. You're caught. It's over.
now you're caught. Now break down. It's over.
It's over.
Can I get that trash can?
Sorry.
It's alright.
Now you want to tell us so we can find out who's gonna get hurt the worst on this? Did you or did you not pull the trigger? That's all we want to know.
Trigger.
Huh?
Didn't pull the trigger.
David Evans.
Don't you even try that.
Try what?
Don't try to agree with her, David.
I wasn't.
No, he said that. That's why I'm making sure it's.
No, he didn't say that.
I didn't say that David Evans did it.
No, you said David.
No.
Wait, what? What's she talking about?
I think you misheard him.
Okay, who shot? Who shot him? You gotta talk now.
The one I have, and you had.
Come on.
What are you looking for? Looking for something a little closer?
Here. See if you can. What's your cell number?
You've gotta tell the
707
truth, okay?
8850.
I'm just gonna
They've
text it to
already
you.
told,
Yeah,
honey.
and then you can
Now,
email it yourself.
that just said what happened. Swallow that kiss-ass attitude you have, and now start caring for yourself.
It's good advice, Eric.
You know we love you.
It's good advice, Eric. It's only good if you take it, brother.
Right?
Good advice is only good if you take it.
You know we love you, so come on. What happened that night? Look at the brave idea to decide to shoot that child. Who? You've gotta say. Yeah, it's gonna be bad. But let's get through this together. I've never left you, have I? No.
She's not gonna now, man. Right? You need her the most right now. You need to start taking a deep breath and thinking, you're not the badass that you think you are, and that's okay. You don't need to be, brother. Neither is Devin, neither is Dominic, neither is Bradley, neither is Alyssa, neither is anybody else that we've talked to, and we've talked about a billion people. I'm just naming a few names. Okay? When the chips are down, the only people that look out for anybody else is themselves. That's right, you. That's right.
Remember, on Two Guns, he says, there is no, what does he say? There is no law. It's just me, it's each one for each person in the end. Now, code, that's what it was. There is no code. Now it's called what?
Now it's called keeping yourself above water, because ain't nobody throwing
Save
you
your
by
ass. Save your ass. Save your ass. Now tell us what happened.
The only thing is,
Ah,
the only thing is,
just say it.
how do I know that you're not playing me right now?
How do I know you're not?
Oh, honey,
Are
it's
you
already
kidding
over.
me? Are you seriously
No,
trying
no,
to get me
no,
to
no,
tell
no.
you? No,
Don't get mad.
I'm not playing you. I'm offended that you think that I would have you sit here.
It's not
like
you,
this.
It's not you, it's not you. It's just the profession, and I think you understand that.
Okay, that's reasonable. I'm not playing you, man. Man to man, I'm not playing you. You're a big boy, we're playing by big boy rules. I'm not playing you. You're not here on accident. I know everything, but I need to hear your side of it. The one
Why does
thing,
my side matter so much?
it does because,
Because each one has their own story.
and balls to the court whenever you're ready.
So this happened Sunday night, when?
I'm still on that other question.
What was that?
Who shot David? That's what she asked me.
Okay, who shot David?
He said the balls in my court.
It's okay.
Okay, so let's go back to the very beginning. What time did you guys go in the trailer and start this? After David showered or before?
Still on that first one.
Huh?
Still on that first one.
Well, get out of the first one, unless you're not gonna answer it, and let's go to the next one.
Let me paint it.
Your dad.
He's not 60.
Your dad.
Let me tell you something right now.
Your dad.
The reason that he's not telling you who pulled the trigger is because that's the hardest question we can ask him. You feel me, Grandma? You feel it? You know why that's the hardest question we
No,
can ask
I
him?
do not know. Just talk, grab it and tell me what
I know
happened.
what you're gonna say. I know what you're gonna say. You're off
I
the
don't.
Well, thank you. That's all.
Your mother, I don't know if she'll come, but listen to your dad. Come on, sweetie. Okay, he did not tell his best friend, okay?
Yes, he did. He's lying. Look closely.
The what?
Look closely. What does it look like to you?
Looks like a bunch of snow and some clothes.
I'm just knowing some clothes.
What is it?
Looks like a person, obviously.
You know what that is. It's awful.
What is it? Oh,
We already know, man. I already know. I just need you to take a deep breath and tell us your side.
okay.
We didn't throw a dart at the map. We weren't born last night. We're homicide investigators. This is what we do, dude.
Alright.
But we got a job to do. You're done with that job.
Now give me the story.
Your side of the story. The why. I already know the what. I already know the who. I already know the when and the where. I don't have the why. Tony, you can tell me that. Why don't we let you take the ball and run with it? Why don't you start at the beginning?
Brandmanager at my fucking house acting like they hated this.
Are they involved in it?
Don't worry about that. You worry about yourself.
Were they involved in it?
Who knows? But I don't care about their involvement. I don't want him to rat. I don't want to ask him to rat on people because he's got some sort of misguided code that he's operating off of, and he thinks that he should rat. All I'm asking him to do is tell his side of the story. So, Eric, your side, your version.
So, there's 4 people. Okay, this isn't irrelevant to the situation. There's 4 people that I will die for. And all that.
Okay, who are they?
Andrew, which you probably know by different name.
Mr. Barrett.
Devin.
Okay.
Bradley.
Okay.
And Garrett, who moved to Fairbanks.
You're a Canada.
And Dominic is not one.
Okay.
And I wouldn't rat on my family.
You consider Dominic family?
No, that's the one I don't consider.
Okay. Well, then why don't you just tell me your side of the story? We'll take Dominic not being your family into consideration here. But you need to, you know...
I was just making an excuse for myself.
I don't know what that excuse is, but...
The excuse that I don't rat on family, so I'm not breaking that code.
Oh, I got you. I'm tracking.
And I'm just lying to myself right now, pretending it's not right.
Well,
Tell us your involvement.
don't
because
worry
we want
about
to-
somebody else, because we only care about you.
But there's no time limit on here and how long it takes me to express what I need to express. Or I mean,
What are we talking, dude? I'm going home tonight. You know what I mean? Alright. I'm not gonna sit here for the next 12 hours while you drink that bottle of water and think about this.
what time is it?
7 o'clock.
Just say it, close your eyes and say everything. Don't open them.
It was Dominic's idea.
Okay.
Okay?
Start at the beginning. Tell the story, and then we'll go from there.
To do what?
To beat the shit out of you.
Why?
Because he was sitting out there in the trailer with me. And he told me that he sat there and smoked all my weed. And Dominic didn't like it. He was pissed about it.
Wait a second.
I know I really
Dominic was mad because Eric smoked all your weed?
because David smoked.
I'm sorry, David smoked all your weed?
Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense. And besides that, you had a ton of weed
And
in your
he
house.
said, yeah, I know.
So I'm already not buying your story.
Let's see.
But it doesn't make sense. Like I said, I
No,
don't
I
realize
understand.
your story makes
I
sense.
understand.
Okay, continue with your story. We'll see if at some point it makes sense here.
And then he also just didn't like it, I guess. I don't know. There was a conversation on Facebook Messenger that I deleted.
What was the conversation on
He
Facebook?
just was telling me that it was going to happen.
Dominic was telling you that it was going to happen. What was he saying is going to happen?
Saying that he was going to beat the shit out of David.
Okay.
When did, they smoke all this weed then, or if it wasn't that night?
It was, okay, so it was that night, it was Sunday, and they came over, like, right before David ever showed up. And I was like, because they weren't supposed to be there, they were all in the garage. They were,
They who?
as in Brad, Dom, and Andrew.
Okay. So Bradley, Dominic, and Andrew are all in the garage. Okay.
And then I went out there, and while like David Evans and my dad were arguing about whether he could stay there or not.
Okay.
And then I went upstairs and around the back, and because they said they were here, and I was like, oh shit, and my dad's outside. So I went up there and went out and talked to them. They said they wanted some food and some water, so I said okay, and we got some food and some water.
And wait, tell me again who's in the garage?
Dominic, Bradley, and then
Okay, continue.
and asked me to bring him food. So I snuck her out through the front door and went and brought him some pizza pockets and a couple water bottles. And then the truck pulled up, and I said, "Who the fuck is that?" And then I want to say, at this point, I want to say David Evans was out there, so that would have been before, or after the argument he had with my dad.
Is that when you guys come upstairs? So then you're not gonna go up to see if I say yes or nay.
No, that was
When was that?
That was right after the argument, and then we went up there. I don't know, before we went up to see you, that was, yeah, it was before that. It was before. So before that, we went up and talked to you right here. Before that, I went and brought pizza pockets and water. And then, it wasn't then that he pulled up then. Must have been after. And then we were all in the garage, and a car pulled up, and I was like, who the fuck is that? And David was like, oh, it's David, he said he was coming by there. And I was like, oh, okay. And then, any question?
So why did he come by if he never comes by?
What do you mean? No, he never comes by without letting me know. But I guess David Evans still thought he lived there, so he thought it was okay. While I was living there, David Evans would always have someone think that they could come over, and then he'd bring it up to me, and I'd be like, well, you should ask me before. And I always had a problem with that with him. But David Grunwald showed up, and they were all in the garage smoking, and then they get in the trailer, so they broke into it. But there was a crowbar. They said, well, it's cold as fuck out here, we're trying to get in the trailer. And I was like, okay. So I went and got some tools, and they broke into the trailer.
Hold on. Just wait on some stuff here, okay? You went and got the tools, and they broke into the trailer?
Yeah.
If you guys broke into the trailer together, you need to say that.
No.
But you provided the tools for them to break into the trailer.
Yes, sir.
It's all the same thing.
Exactly. You guys break into the trailer.
I mean,
You provide the tools, they break in, you guys break in. That's how it works.
oh, okay, I wasn't like saying it as like a legal kind of break-in. I just mean like,
No, I understand what you're like, here's the tools, and then they break in. That's just like you breaking in.
I mean, I guess, yeah, I see what you're saying. I wasn't trying to say that.
So now we got David Evans, Bradley, Dominic, Andrew, and now David Grunwald all going into this trailer?
No, I didn't go into it. I went inside because I couldn't leave my dad's attention because he'd know that I went to the trailer. So earlier that night, I tried to get the key from him, and I asked him for the key, and he wouldn't give it to me because after like 2 weeks before that, he didn't want anyone going in there anymore because we used the electric key, and all the electricity was running most of the electric bill.
I'm not buying what you're selling, but continue.
Well, I told him nobody could go in there and he had to lock it because
What he's doing is classic.
my light bill is.
Classic interview stuff here is he's trying to distance himself from that trailer.
Okay, so
What he's saying here is that like he went inside and let these all. That's not what's actually happening.
No, that's not. I didn't say that. I didn't say it
You
was.
said you let them give you
I
the
didn't-
tools. They broke in and then you left. You're saying
I came back. I went back.
Okay, continue.
I wasn't talking.
Let's talk about the part where you're in the trailer.
Every time that happens, when what I'm telling you, and you go off on something like that, it makes me just
No, I understand, but it's.
think that. I told her. I said before, before this, I said that I'm not leaving.
Well, if you say something that is unbelievable, I'm going to tell you I don't believe it. And then you're going to have to back it up with some sort of explanation. I'm not just going to allow you to lie to me.
Yeah,
It's not how this
Okay,
works.
so I talked to him and then David took a shower
David said, can I take a shower? It's been
and then
days.
David called somebody to pick him up. Is this
I don't
exactly
know how
not
David
true?
was got picked up. I don't. David always told me that
I know
he was
how
his
he
brother. That's as far as I know.
It was his brother.
So what happened?
How did he get a hold of his brother if his phone didn't work?
It was internet probably, I don't know. But I went in the trailer and he said,
So now who's in the trailer when you go into the trailer?
no, when I went, I'm sorry, I meant to, when I went into the house, who was in the trailer was David Grunwald, Dominic, Bradley, and Andrew. Anyway, Dominic messaged me and said, this is what's happening. And I said, okay. And I said,
Dominic
no,
says, what's happening?
he said they're gonna beat the shit out of him. And I said, no, at first. I said, no, that's my mate. There's no reason to. And he said, well, I don't like the way he's talking, I don't like the way he's acting. And he smoked probably weed. That last part, honestly, was probably just an excuse that he made up, because, I don't know.
We got your
Because
Facebook.
shit.
We got Al that we did the preservation letter. We got all that. That's not what happened.
Preservation letter, what do you mean?
It means that it doesn't matter what you tried to delete, it doesn't go away.
No,
Facebook
it
doesn't
doesn't.
allow it to delete it. So it goes away from your account, but it doesn't go away from Facebook that lives in California. We've got the Facebook stuff. What you're telling me isn't 100% true. It's BS, and I already know the answer to this question. And I am
Did you
not,
say they were
I'm
going to?
not going to ask you questions I don't already know the answers to.
Was I against it, yes or no, at first?
I'm not telling you, you're telling me. And I'm judging whether or not you're being honest.
I'm telling you I was against it.
Get to the part where you're not against it.
It wasn't really a point that I wasn't against it.
Okay, continue.
They just told me that that's what was happening, and then I went out there, and they had him locked in the bathroom, and they just started beating the shit out of him as they got out with all the lights off, and they said, guard the door. And I was just saying that.
Who's beating the shit out of him?
Dominic.
And then,
we get in the car, and Dom says, come on, we're going.
Wait a second.
who's calling?
And
When did they shoot David?
when? Later.
You guys all came back?
Hold on, we'll get there. We'll get there. He's skipping over a lot of stuff and he's making some stuff up. He's just all out making some stuff up. So you're telling me, because I already know the answer to this, but I'm judging your honesty because your honesty goes into that whole cooperation thing.
Actually,
You're telling lies and I'm not okay with it.
what?
Who you're saying right now is in the trailer beating up David Grunwald?
Dominic.
No, I'm asking who's in the trailer. You said Erick, Austin, aka Andrew, and Bradley.
Dominic. Using that. Did I miss him?
No, I'm getting to it. You're saying that there's Austin, aka Andrew, Dominic, Bradley, and David Grunwald in the trailer. But that's not entirely true. You're not asking the questions I am.
That's crazy. It wasn't. I
Well,
guess
what was
but
David Evans?
David Evans wasn't in there.
He wasn't part of this.
No, sir.
That's true.
So who pulled the gun?
It's not true either.
Who pulled the gun?
This is the part of that whole full cooperation thing. He doesn't want to admit that, but
Who pulled the gun?
that's wrong. That's
Where
a
did you
lie.
guys get that gun if it was in Anchorage?
There wasn't that one.
What gun was it?
There was a 9mm.
Grandpa's gun?
You know, Grandpa. He has a 9mm.
Let him talk. But Dominic didn't pull that gun.
I didn't know. What is
Your grandson.
44 mag? Is that a 9mm?
No.
Oh,
A 40 caliber is a little bigger than a 9mm.
Erick had the gun.
where did you get a gun?
I didn't have a 9mm.
Erick had the gun. Don't let him tell you you did.
Why would you shoot
I
somebody?
didn't have a 9mm.
Would you have
40 caliber.
a 40 caliber?
So
What's that?
it's a bigger pistol. It's a pistol.
Where'd you get
Where'd
it?
you get that from?
I miles off the street.
How much did you pay for it?
$250.
Where'd
Where'd you
get
get the
that
money?
When I used to live at the trap.
You bought this while you were running this summer and fall?
So, I'm not really buying the whole, everything just yet, but I am buying the 40 caliber part of this. That part of mine. David's getting beat up in your trailer. You want to try to tell me you don't have anything to do with that?
I didn't hit him at all. I didn't. But the 40 caliber was used to beat his head.
Oh, I know.
Dominic hit me up on Facebook and you should know this. He said, bring out the 40 cal. And I said no. I wasn't about it. And I was like taking it as a joke. I was like, you're fine. But no. And then I brought it out because he seemed like he was dead serious. He was like, no, bring the fucking 40. And I was like, okay. And I went out there and I cracked the door and I handed it to him through it and I closed it because I didn't want to be a part of it.
You didn't want to be a part of it. You just handed him the gun that was used to kill David
Why
Grunwald.
would you let him hit somebody in the
It
trailer?
wasn't used to kill David.
Okay, we'll continue. We'll let you play this game. Continue.
What type of word? Oh, I don't get to ask questions.
So then, who pulled the trigger? Dominic pulled the trigger. What did you do?
Stupid.
Huh?
Stupid.
What?
Stupid.
That's not true. Don't tell me that.
Why did you not go insane and run in and get us?
Because he knows the arson.
And then we hauled the body out to his car?
Why don't we, let's clearly you want to avoid this responsibility for pulling the trigger on this, and I'm okay with that for now because I know the truth. Why don't we go into, take us from the trailer to where the pulling of the trigger actually happened. Tell us how we got there.
Dominic was ready. And he said, how do I get to start frustrated? And David Grunwald was bleeding on his head. And he was like, I guess there's a little stubborn. And then we didn't know what he meant. And then we were looking through the keys and there was no stubborn. And then Dominic handed it to David and he held up the key.
He's dying and
Continue.
He's bleeding from his head from blunt force trauma. Not being shot at this point.
if you're in the car and you're going down the road with a child who is hurt, and how many of there are you in the car?
5 including David.
Who's in the car?
There's everyone who was in the trailer.
I need you to tell me again.
Dominic, Abby, Andrew, me, and David.
Okay.
It comforts me when you ask me questions.
And then what? You guys drove to this horrible place, wherever it is, I do not know. And what did you guys do then?
Let's ask him where did he go. That's a good question.
Come to the beach.
Is this place where he died out in Butte?
As far as I believe. As far as I know.
You go there.
It was really dark. I didn't know we were. I just knew we were in the Butte somewhere, and that's what I
This is where he died, was in the Butte?
showed him. Yeah.
I thought you guys said it was on Chirac.
So you're in the Bronco and you go to the Butte, and then what?
And then they take him out there, and I'm the last one walking behind him home. And Dom's holding him by the shirt, making him walk the whole way. He turns him around, and as soon as he looks up, bang! And he just drops.
He turns him around.
And it's facing towards Dominic.
And
He
then what?
walked right in this little, like, where that was, and there's like a ring of trees right there kind of thing, bushes. And he faced this way, and Dominic was standing here, and as soon as he looked right at Dominic, he said,
And that's not true. Your son pressed the trigger. Outside your grandson. Erick pulled the trigger on this one. And until Erick comes clean and gives us full cooperation, Erick, it's time.
Tell me you didn't kill him. Tell me You didn't kill
I
David
did not
Grunwald.
kill
You're
David
full of
Grunwald.
shit. Full of shit. You're lying.
You're a
You're
terrible
a liar.
You're a good kid that thinks he's a badass but isn't. You're a scared little kid, alright? And you tell like you should never play poker. He and I have been doing this longer than you've been alive, right? The good news is the reason you're a terrible liar is because you have a conscience. You feel bad about this.
Do you feel bad about this?
I feel bad that it happened, but I don't feel bad about. Yeah, if you're asking if I feel bad about doing it, then the answer would be no, because I do.
I can't believe you're not crying and going crazy of knowing you haven't seen somebody die.
And lying about it continuously.
And why you would not come forward and say, Mom, Dad, Grandma, somebody.
Alright, Jeff.
Let me tell you why you didn't come forward. I'll tell you exactly why. And you already know this, but you don't know you know it. The reason he didn't come forward is because he's the one that killed David. He's got a really good reason to not come forward. He's trying to convince us that there are people in this car, besides just Dominic and Andrew and Bradley and everyone else, right? And then he's looking you in the eye and saying, "What, not me? You decide." Because clearly he's not ready to take responsibility for anything. We've got ourselves a stone cold
Well, I've
killer.
never seen somebody who lies about something like that.
We've got ourselves a stone cold killer right here. This is a person right now who wants us to believe him over all of the evidence. That's never going to happen. It's just not.
So where's the gun?
I don't know, I didn't have it. I didn't.
Because that would
You know,
I
also
never
put
touched the gun. I
fingerprints.
never touched the gun. I never did.
yeah, he did. And we know where it's at.
You know, it's really one thing to lie to us, and we understand you're lying, but to lie to your grandmas, that's pretty messed up. To lie to your dad, that's pretty messed up. But you're agreeing because it's true. That's why you're
I'm agreeing because
No, you're
No,
agreeing.
stop.
You're agreeing because it's true.
Eric, you were on the track to take responsibility for your participation here, and then you started to get off base and say you didn't do this, and we're not going to allow you to lie to us about this.
Listen,
If you're worried,
you went away for 2 days after doing this? Why? Why didn't you come home, get on your knees and say, Grandma, I fucked up? Well, scared doesn't help. What did I tell you? I said I would do anything, didn't I? If you tell me the truth. I said, what did I say to you? I'm a mother bear, and I'll claw you if I have to. That's what we do. Mothers fight for their kids. Doesn't matter what happened. We still fight. I said I would fight, didn't I? And you keep saying no, you didn't do nothing. They say they got proof. You better jump and hop on it. Okay? Now this is what I wanted to see out of you when we first were asking you. Emotion. Don't get cold and hard like a fucking Dixon. Do not get cold and hard like a fucking Dixon. They will win another. You don't want to go there. You don't want to go there. What?
I already know I don't want to go there.
You don't want to go there. You're just a little stubborn redhead, but I still have faith in you. You've got to just let it go. Huh?
I did. That's the worst fucking part. I fucking said. Like, why would I?
You didn't do it.
I promise you, on everything in this fucking world, I did not do it.
He's right now going through a very emotional stage, and he's on the verge of actually telling the truth of what happened here tonight, or I'm sorry, Sunday night. And I was gonna withhold
He's just a child.
I understand, and that's why I want him to come clean, so that he can continue to have a fruitful life after this is over. You put this behind him. I don't want to see him go to big boy jail for the rest of his life. I want him to take responsibility for this, so that we can move on. But I can only promise him a cooperating mitigator in this. That's what the DA calls it. They tell me I can tell him your cooperation will be taken into consideration, right? If he actually fully discloses his responsibility. Anything but full disclosure doesn't count. Okay? Now I think I know the reason behind this sort of thing, and it's partially Devin's kind of like, would you classify him as a brother for you?
Are you talking about the one I call the naked?
I know. And you know what? And I bet,
He's evil.
well, hold on a second. Hold on. He's got to get on. Listen. I know you look up to him.
He does.
I know you would. And I know that this was an attempt at gaining some street cred with Devin. And I use street cred probably very loosely.
I have more street cred with him than anyone else. I'm the only person he's ever lived with. I was his first best friend of him. I'm the only reason he's a part of any of the people that we're friends with.
I'm telling you that I know that in your heart of hearts you know that this was going to impress Dev. And maybe that's not the reason why it happened,
I wasn't happy.
but you went to Dev right after this. And you looked for a little bit of help.
So
That's where you went. I mean, among other places, that's where you went. Right?
Well, Devin wouldn't go that far. They've been close, but
Well, we'll talk about that in a minute. But, you know how I know you went to Devin's?
how do you think?
In the end, they'll be able to look out for themselves and lose themselves.
I'm trying.
You're trying.
I'm trying to look out for myself.
You are. But you're going about it the wrong way.
yeah,
You feel like
they're not gonna care.
you feel like if you lie to me and don't take responsibility that you're looking out for yourself. But I know that that's
I said already it didn't work. I learned from my mistakes pretty well. I'm a smart kid. I really fucking am. I screwed myself.
the only
At
one that's
first, when
consistent.
I was telling the truth, I was trying to leave out some things, but I went back and corrected what I left.
You left out quite a bit. You left out quite a bit. And it's the part about you being responsible for this. And that's a pretty important part. You know? It just is. I told you going into this. I'm not an a-hole. But I'm also not going to let you try to say take my word for it, because I got all the other evidence that supports something else. If I'm getting lied to, just like I'm telling you, I told everybody else in this investigation, I'm not going to let you lie to me. I'm going to call you on it. That's part of this job. If I know you're lying, I call you on it. Okay? And you have a choice. Continue to try to lie to me. It makes you look like a horrible person. Or just fall on your sword. Take responsibility for your actions and move on. We've been in this interview now for going on an hour. Okay? And you know that I know. You know that I know.
Oh, what?
Everything.
You're
only
hoping-
one thing.
You're grasping at straws, hoping that I'm just throwing darts at him now. And that's not what's happening. You want to kind of back up to the beginning and take another run at this and wipe the slate clean? And actually take responsibility for this? Or do you want to?
I'm not gonna sit here and tell you I did something I didn't do. I was a part. I'm not saying I wanted to be. I'm not saying that I didn't want to be excluded from it. But I'm sitting here telling you that I didn't kill David Grunwald.
I'm telling you the evidence supports something else.
I'll have to say this.
I can't make you confess. I'm just asking
Did you
for your
burn
side.
the cause? Was the body on the ground? Okay. The body was on the ground, so you burned the car?
Body and the car were nowhere near each other.
Or what?
They were nowhere near each other. Oh. Why don't you take us from after David dies? After David gets murdered. Take us from there. What happened
Thank
next?
you for saying that the way you did. I'm not saying that it was me.
Well, I know it was you, but you...
At least you worded it differently.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was on purpose, but
It was on
I
purpose.
appreciate it.
You're welcome. Why don't you take us from there? And then step by step all the way back to Ulysses.
Joe does. Ask for advice. Have none better than we could give ourselves.
And who was with you at the time?
I'm just gonna say same people, but Dom. It's the same people except minus David. Dom, Brian, Andrew, me.
Okay, continue.
Drove up to his house. Last day.
What were you guys driving?
Dom.
Who drove it?
Dom.
So you, Andrew, Bradley, and Dom all go to Deb's. Where's Deb live?
Out in by Houston.
Okay.
Something like that.
And then what happens?
And then I drive up the road. There's no bad. Dom and Dad go buy gasoline. Drive around.
Hold on a second. You go to Deb's. There's 4 of you in the vehicle, in the Bronco. Okay. You get to Deb's, you ask him for advice. Okay. Tell me what you tell Deb.
I didn't tell him anything. I didn't remember. I just was happy to see him because we had a problem for a while. I was honestly scared at first to see Deb.
Alright, so you guys, Austin, aka Andrew, Dom, Bradley, you, pull up to Deb's. You guys all get out, you all go inside. Okay.
Stay out in the car.
You all stay out in the car. Okay, does he come out to you then? Okay, he comes out to you. What happens then?
We asked him for, we told him what happened. And he says, we're all stupid as fuck, and he's so fucking pissed. He's so pissed. And he was not okay with it. And then we asked him if we could borrow a couple gas cans. Well, we asked him what to do. And I was like, well, we could probably just burn it.
So it was your idea to burn it? Yes or no, it was your idea to burn it?
I don't know if it was fully my idea, but I was on board with it.
Continue.
And then we drove up the road, out of his neighborhood, drive down the road to the nearest gas station.
Still you, Andrew,
Same people, same person driving.
same person driving. Okay, which gas station did you go to?
Fuck. I want to say right by Riverbed, but I don't think you guys would know what that is.
Riverbed?
Yeah, Riverbed. Surprise stop. Can I explain the gas station to you? I don't know roads we open, so there's a gas station here. And so here's the road, and it kind of loops around like this, and the gas station's here.
Okay.
And then the building itself's here, and the gas, whatever's right here. And then there's like a side road that goes down here. And I want to say,
By the country store?
by Little North? No.
Is it close to Deb's house?
Like 10-minute drive, I think.
Okay, towards Wasilla, 10-minute drive?
I want to say towards Wasilla. Towards back the way we came.
Okay. Is there a stoplight or something nearby?
I don't think so.
What's across the street?
I think it's just emptiness. It's just...
He doesn't know any roads.
One of the roads down behind it, it's like King something. Or something like that.
You're talking about Mile 49 holiday repayment.
Am I? Oh, I don't know, I'm sorry. I was to
There's
the
a road behind
it
it that takes you to King Arthur.
Is it a
Yeah.
Is it a big gas station like where you buy food?
He knows what I'm talking about. He can explain
It's
that.
got gas pumps, it's got a convenience store inside, it's got gas pumps on the
I
other
see the
side.
subway in it too, right?
Yeah, we're talking about the same.
Yeah, 49 holiday.
Continue.
Alright, so you guys go to the 49 holiday and you buy gas. Who buys the gas?
Who buys it? I don't know, but I know who goes to get it.
Okay, who goes to get
Don and Brad go to get it. They go with 2 gas cans and fill them up and walk back. A blue one.
it? So where'd you park in the parking lot?
Canadian parking lot. It was on a dirt trail, like 200-300 yards before you could get into the gas station property.
Okay. So you guys are parked out kind of down the way. They hop out, they go get gas, they hand carry it back. And that's Don and Brad. Okay. Alright.
And then we drive up the road, drive past it, and drive up behind there, and I think, oh no, where do we go? We're gonna drive it up and then take it to the riverbed and burn out there at a party spot because cars get burned out there all the time. And then they were thinking Coal Hills. And then we ended up just driving around, and then they took down a left down a dirt road and just kept driving, and it was really bumpy. I remember hitting my head on the ceiling. And then he stopped. He was like, this is far enough to be a long walk back, and I started looking. And then me and Brad started pouring gasoline all over the inside of it, seats and everything. And then I tried to light it, but my hand, I lit a branch and tried to throw it in there. But it didn't, it wasn't lit enough. And he walked up to the driver's side door and I bottom of the door handle. And when I watched the flames attack my face and I turned away and I was like, my hair is burnt back here.
And so who lit the door handle?
Brad.
Okay. Where's Dom during this?
He's already 20, 30, 40 feet back.
Where's Austin?
He got dropped off at Deb's.
Oh, he stayed at Deb's?
I thought you said you guys went to the gas station, all 4 of you in the truck.
Okay, we got gas. Yeah. Sorry, I'm honestly having a bad time. I know you guys are thinking it's not that way, but... So he was in the car. I remember talking with him. I remember having a conversation. Maybe we went back. Oh yeah, on the way out of there, we were thinking, it's probably a smart idea just to drop you off because he was going back there afterwards anyway. So, and he didn't want to have to walk and all that. So we were like, well, it'd be easier just to drop you off and then we can go do it. You don't need to be a part of it. And he said, okay. So we dropped him off and we had the gas on us. And then we let Andrew out. And then we turned around and drove back out and went and started driving. We found that place and it was just me, Don, and Brad that burned it.
And then you guys phoned for a cab? Cabs have to write down everywhere they go to pick people up.
Very true.
Forever and a day. There's no surprises. And it goes to show you that he never walked.
Oh, well, we walked.
I'm just saying he's not a walker.
Sure.
Only when he was real little. Because they can't go to McDonald's without getting a ride home.
Where'd you get the bleach to clean up the mess in the trailer?
Downstairs.
Downstairs bathroom at your house?
Yep.
And who helped you clean it up?
No, just me.
When did you clean it up?
4 days ago, 4 or 5 days ago. The day last weekend.
That was when you broke into the trailer. You said you need something, and Dad didn't have it. He wasn't going to lock it, obviously, because you would have seen
Because his dad was gone.
When you were out here. That was the day you were at the show. And I helped you set up this Saturday.
Well, you did a horrible job cleaning it up, just by the way.
Yeah, they don't, grandmother wasn't allowed to be a grandmother and show them how to clean because my kids had the white glove treatment. Holy crap!
Why'd you burn the truck?
It was a good idea.
Or why? I know why. I need you to say why.
Burn the truck so
would find it and it wouldn't lead back to anyone who had a part of it.
To burn the fingerprints, the blood.
Hair, skin, sweat.
And so, you guys have the body? All this time?
No, what do you mean?
All this time?
Yeah, that's it, that night.
All to bring the kids out. And here I'm thinking it's some big bunch of drug dealers.
The reason we were at your house day 2.
Well, I'd have never thought my child was involved in something like that, let alone think about it. Where do you guys come up with this stuff?
It wasn't come up with, it was just run along with, because there was nothing else.
Why would you even go along with it? That isn't even nice.
Nothing I could have done about it.
I disagree.
You could have come in and said, Dad,
I should.
I'm having trouble.
They would have just killed me. They would have just killed me if I didn't go along with it.
It's not true. Here's here's some things that the courts get to see. Okay?
Well, that's not gonna help.
There's something else the courts get to see. Right? This is your photo lineup.
And you bought
Same
this.
photo lineup that we showed the cab driver.
This is a 44.
Same photo lineup we showed the cab driver.
Who owns this gun? Who has this gun?
Anthony Harry has, I don't know, wanted to sell it to me.
Where did the gun come from that night?
The
Who
one,
had it?
one of the 3 had it. I don't know who brought it themselves. I just know who had
So
it.
you're telling me that you have your own 40,
Had-
somebody else has 9, and you guys are 16, beating a kid up in your trailer, pistol whipping him to almost death, and then drive him out to Nick River Road, walk him into the woods, and execute him. You're telling me that's what your group of friends did?
For why?
Sit up straight for a second, because I've got to go back and I've got to talk to the Grunwald family. And I've got to look mom and dad in the eye, and I've got to explain to them why their 16-year-old son is never coming home again. Give me a reason why he needed to die that night. Please.
That's all right. We want to
I
see.
went back on that.
We want to
You told me
see
you were
the
illicit for 2 days. You didn't
test
go back on
results.
that. Yeah, absolutely. No, let me get out. It's not going to happen at 9:41 at night, but
It went on TV. Where's Rodney? Wonder if your mother showed up. Did she show up?
yeah, she's out here.
Yeah, I believe she's out
Did
there.
I bring her in?
Yes. You want me to lay? You know, the only way out is the truth, honey.
Truth will set
And
you free. Truth will set
Only
you
way
free.
out is the truth. So if it was you, then you have to eat it. If it
What
wasn't,
if it wasn't me?
then if it wasn't you, fine.
What would I do?
Well, if it wasn't you.
Yeah, just let's say that. Let's say it wasn't. What would I do about it? What would I do to make someone believe me in this situation?
The evidence would have to support that.
Okay.
So, like, for instance, we would have to have some cooperation on where's the gun that was used. You know, because I know the have to have some cooperation. Where's the gun? Yes,
I have to ask the other boys. I don't know what to do with it. I know I should have went home with Dom. Last I saw Dom in the wrong road. I suspect he would.
Can I have it? I need you to pull it together. That's what I need. You suck it up and listen to me. Okay? This is the time in your life where you get to choose what the rest looks like. What happened is done. We can't go fix it. Okay? It's done. It's done. This is the moment where you get to choose what the rest looks like. I don't listen. Here's the truth. I know it's gonna suck ass. I know. Okay. So let me tell you something I know. You understand, I'm sure everybody in this room, unfortunately, people have told you the cooperation is the only thing that matters, right? Yes? I know. Okay. And maybe you are so smart, but you are not smarter than the evidence that we have. You understand that? Okay, great. Okay? So, cooperation means like when your story matches the pictures and evidence that they have. And at this point, it's not enough to be considered cooperation. And that's okay. And people can have two different stories. And I think that everybody in this room has seen that happen more than once.
Eric is one information and everyone else is right. Or no? Am I wrong?
You are wrong. I'll tell you why. Can you listen first? I know, listen, I'll tell you something. So I've gone to jury duty a couple of times, right? And when I go to jury duty, there's always a fail-safe question on the jury duty questionnaire. And it says, is the police officer going to be more truthful than somebody else? And if you mark yes, you never get to jury duty, and you would never want me to be on the trial. Because they need somebody that's going to believe everybody equals. Okay?
As a jury. As a jury.
Yeah, absolutely. As a jury. Okay? Because that's the way it works. And the difference is, these guys, they don't just get to come and tell their story and it all works out and everybody believes it. And if your story doesn't match their story, well, then they win. It's not like that. Because they don't win by stories. When we went to court with Mike, did Mike win with some story he made up? No. Gina made up some story and how did her life work out for her? She got made fun of in court. And she got made a fool because she made up a story. And Mike pulled out the evidence, right? So whoever pulls out the evidence wins. Does that make sense? Okay. At this point, these guys are on a winning team. Okay? And you're not going to get to win out of this. And you got to accept that. You get to choose the lesser of two evils that your life is going to look like. Either it's going to suck for a while, or it's going to suck the rest of your life. Okay? So, when your story matches the evidence that they have, or they look like they line up somewhat, so you feel like you're cooperating, then you have some leverage. I love you, and I know you want to be in control, and this is your opportunity to take some control. Okay? I know, baby. Okay?
He doesn't make me see any brighter when I tell him that I didn't shoot him and they just say no.
They can say whatever they want. Okay? If you didn't shoot him, you didn't shoot him. That's right. Okay? But then you have to reconcile. You gotta reconcile the information that they have as to, okay, why were my fingerprints on the gun? I don't know. I don't know if that's the truth or not, okay, to be honest. But you gotta be able to explain them. You gotta show them, hey, your evidence may look like this to you, but this is how it really works, and see how this evidence fits here and here and here and here, and this is a real story. Okay? Does that make sense?
I don't know their side of it either.
You don't
care about their side.
And that's the tricky part. That's the tricky part, is they want to hear you tell the truth. Okay? And I can't tell you why that makes a difference, whether you go to jail for a short time or a long time. That doesn't make sense to me, but I don't get to pick the rules. Okay? But this is what I know. And this is what you need to understand. Cooperation looks like when your story matches their evidence. It doesn't have to match their story. They could be wrong. Okay? But they're not going to tell you everything you know, because they want you to show that you understand the consequence of your actions and your choices. And the way you do that is by saying, dude, I sucked. I totally sucked. And this is what happened, and I know it was wrong, and it is what it is, but this is what happened. And then we say, hey, this kid was an idiot, but he has the potential to turn it around, so we should cut him some slack. That's option one. Option two is, this kid's an idiot, and he's got no chance of not being an idiot the rest of his life. So we need to make sure that we push hard. Does that make sense? You're smart. You're very smart, kid. Okay? And you're very logical. And you may not be able to choose exactly what you want your life to look like right now, but you have the opportunity to figure out what it's going to look like in the distant future. And you can choose to be in prison for the rest of your life. Everybody around here is real unhappy about this whole David kid thing, including me. Like, I'm on the bandwagon of the community here. And you have to show that it was a mistake. And that this is not who you are. How many mistakes have I made in my life? A shit ton. Yeah? And what do I do? Yeah. And what do I do? Say, I sucked, the rest of my life can go to hell. No. Every day I start again. Every day I start again and try again to be somebody better than I was the day before. Because plenty of choices in my life, I've hurt people. I've hurt you, I've hurt your brother, I've hurt your dad. I've hurt lots of people. But every day God gives you a new day to start again. And that's what these guys want to see. That you want to start again. And that you're not going to play out the same day you had or the same night you had that night. They're looking for a kid that's looking for a new day and not that same day over and over and over. Because they're not going to let somebody that wants to live that same day over and over and over out to hurt anybody.
So, you want to start over and tell us everything?
Just a little bit. I gotta have a second. Gotta have a second, Grandma.
Huh?
He's gotta have a second, Grandma. You're amazing, you know that? You're a tough old bird, I'll tell you that.
I am.
I know you are. I'm scared to death of you sitting next to you.
I've been through everything.
I know
This
you have.
is a new experience.
One more mountain to climb, my dear. One more mountain to climb.
But we can do that.
Mom's laid it out very, very, very articulate here. She's absolutely right. I wish I could have.
I'm just
said
that cool. I'm just that
as
cool.
well as she said it. You have your entire life ahead of you. Now, we already know what the evidence shows. We're looking for a story that lines up with that. Or something that you have that supports or that the evidence supports.
You need your story to point them why their evidence is a different story than they believe. But they don't know that, because they don't know all the pieces. They know enough pieces
They choose to believe.
to make, yeah, sure, why not?
Well, the evidence, unfortunately, is neutral a lot of times. Right? And I'll just give you the big pieces. You're the only one who's consistently been deceptive in this. You're the only one whose trailer I have that's got a bunch of dead kids' blood in it. You're the only one I have
with a picture of yourself on your deal. It
That's
says,
been on there for years.
Hold on.
kill us. And you're the only one that can't explain away so many things. And so I'm begging for you to do this, my man. I really am.
Is sometimes not being able to explain something reasonable.
Agreed.
Yeah, 100% agree.
And that's the problem.
It's
When I was telling you my story, and you said, where was Andrew at this time? That was an honest mistake, and I know that
Sure.
you guys saw him in the wrong way. And
well, that's why I called you on it, and you corrected yourself. And now we're okay with it.
I just feel like it, I don't know.
It's probably been because you and I have had this relationship since the beginning that when you lie to me, I call you on it. And so there, you feel like we're in some sort of controversial relationship, and that's not what I'm trying to do here. I'm actually, as tough as this is to believe, looking out for you here. That's why Mom's here. That's why Grandma's here. That's why Dad was invited. That's why I applied for search warrants to get stuff for you, so I made sure your rights were intact. That's why we're here today, telling you that I've got the word from the
That
DA.
Kleenex?
Yeah, I've got the word from the DA that says, as long as you fully cooperate and take responsibility for your portion of this, it's absolutely going to be taken into consideration for this investigation. Okay? It does go a long way.
When I get the opportunity to show you the truth, and then you tell me that I'm lying about it.
Well, that's because you're telling me something that's 180 degrees from what I know to be true from other angles.
So then, how far do you know, apparently, that I... Well, I'm not going to say that.
Hold on. Stop. Eric is very smart. And he has a huge chip on his shoulder. I'm sure you've met it many times. He will engage in any combative conversation that you ask him to engage in, and he will only engage in it combatively. I know, I love your smug look, it's awesome. But, it's not gonna go anywhere.
I'm not here to try to, browbeat him into confessing
No, I don't
something
think
that
so.
he's not done here. But like I told you in the beginning of this, I'm also not going to allow him to lie to me.
Agreed.
So
I understand that.
when I call him on that sort of stuff, I feel like he feels like this relationship isn't a good relationship. But what I'm doing is I'm telling him, hey, we're playing a big boy game here. We gotta play by big boy rules. And my big boy rules say that when I talk to people and they lie to me, I call them on it.
Agreed. That I understand. And really, I think the biggest issue and what's hardest for Erick, and I'm in no way trying to, lessen what's happening here. There's this constant argument about what's the facts, what's not the facts, what's the facts, what's not the facts. So I'm just having a really hard time understanding is that the facts that you have, he thinks that gives you carte blanche to tell the story you want, and so his story's automatically irrelevant, and that's what he's having a hard time with.
So how do I explain to him that that's not the
But I
case?
know, that's
Just the attitude that's being shown to me.
oh
is
honey,
what
they have
implies
every
that
right
to
to
me.
be grouchy.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying grouchy. I'm just saying the attitude where, it's not a bad thing. It's just when I just noticed it.
You're probably not used to having that type of attitude.
I am pretty adaptive.
Yeah, I would say, he's had those.
It's
Okay, so now so testosterone aside, okay, or whatever you want to call it, I'm right and you're wrong and all that crap, okay. So if we have all the puzzle pieces, or say we got most of them, then he's putting the puzzle together the way he thinks it happened, and so you have to take the same puzzle pieces and put it together the way you believe it happened. Does that make sense? Okay. Here's another thing. He expects you to put the puzzle together for him, right? He doesn't expect you to have every tiny detail perfect. Because eyewitness testimony is one of the most unreliable things on the planet. But he expects that the big picture is going to look right.
Very correct.
Does that make sense?
And then sometimes when you say something that, like the detail about Andrew not being present at the gas station, I'm going to point that out, and then you correct it, and then we'll go back to be on the same page again. That's going to happen.
His job is not to persecute you. His job is to figure out what the hell happened. And what really happened to this kid.
And once you see that they have most puzzle pieces,
Yeah.
it just makes sense to just kind of, it's already going to happen. So
You're right.
Up your
Fine.
table so they can put things in.
Fair enough. We'll take your,
It's like you
let's
said.
take your logic. No, let's do it. I got it. So here's their puzzle, and they said, you're the bad guy, you did everything wrong, everybody else are angels, and they're out ringing a red bell for Salvation Army right now, okay? So, you're the only bad guy. So, if that's true, if their puzzle is the only puzzle that counts, then you have one of two options. You either say, yep, that's what it looks like, and have some options for the rest of your life, or, no, your puzzle's all wrong, you're full of crap, you don't know what you're doing.
So,
And then you go to jail forever and a day.
so this is the situation I'm stuck in.
Sure, what you got?
I want to put it on you, see how you would do
Sure,
it.
go.
Just right now, the situation I'm in is they told me I've done something that I was a part of but did not do the
Right. Of course.
carry it out.
Agreed. Do you
So-
think that, don't you think that every kid that sat in your chair, they're trying to find out who did it, and nobody's going to want to tell the truth, because nobody wants to get in trouble, right? So they have to assume that every person did it to find out who really did it, right? So if you did it, then you should say, I'm an asshole.
So,
I did this, but if you didn't, then you need to put their pieces of the puzzle together in a way that says, yeah, all those things are true and all these things did happen and this is what I know, but this is really what this piece over here looks like that's missing, so that they understand what really happened. But if this is something you did because you're an idiot for 5 seconds, fine, people make mistakes. This is your chance to start over. You can't fix it and you're not going to lie your way out of it. If you try to lie, then you're screwed the rest of your life, and I'm sending you cigarettes and socks in prison.
so when I sit here and say that I didn't shoot him,
Sure.
and they say that I did,
Okay.
and the only way for me to apparently get the least shitty part of this is
Yes.
to what? Say that I did? If I didn't?
Well, if you didn't, no. But if you didn't, then you need to help them understand how their story is wrong.
Correct. What Mom said.
So you need to help them understand that. I mean, obviously they have all of this evidence, and Erick doesn't know all the evidence. Is that correct? And nobody's allowed to, because you expect everybody to be honest after they.
It's kind of like a test of truthfulness.
Yes, got it. And so you have to help him rearrange the evidence in a way that makes sense. That maybe doesn't point all the fingers at you. So if you didn't shoot this kid, who did? Who shot this kid? You were there. I know you. You're not going to duck out. You're not going to go take a nap while all the whatever magic is happening. So who shot this kid? Who lied and said you did it and they did it? And if you want to give up your life
For someone else?
for somebody else, this is your opportunity for that too, I guess. But when you're in prison for the next 30 years, and this kid's out doing something else, having a family, having a life, they're not going to think about you. They're going to be like, ooh, I dodged that bullet. Peace out, Holmes. If somebody else did it, say it. If somebody else didn't do it, say it.
Count me off. Say count me off.
I don't understand.
Like count me out.
3, 2, 1. Okay, so if Andrew's the one, you're okay. Erick is, I don't know if this is helpful or not, Erick has had a really, really big deal with narcs. He has even won't talk to his 10-year-old brother because he tattled on him. Okay, so So that's, if that's what's going on, it's reasonable for him to try to protect this person. If it's not, it's reasonable for him to make something up. So understand.
That's what I did earlier when I said I would go.
Oh, fun. We're like
So this is the
roulette.
second
This
time
is when-
you've heard somebody else's.
This is when you call me on my shit and I come out here.
Fine.
This
Okay.
is me
Okay.
choosing what side, what shittiest part. Whether I want to be on the shittiest side or the less shittier side.
Okay, fair.
Let's
So,
be on the truth side, huh?
I'll work on the shitty side still. It's okay. So, you're okay.
What am I now?
You're okay.
Same thing I've hated all my fucking life.
Okay. Now's not the time to stop the stroke. You gotta pick a different time, okay? Okay. Pick a different time. You gotta suck it up and fight for your life. Okay. I know. I know. I have a question.
Go for it. Anything.
So, who's a better friend to you, Dom or Andrew? Well, why would you throw Dom easily under the bus to protect Andrew?
Because there's my family, which I told you guys that earlier.
Okay, and Dom is that what's his face's brother? Damien's brother?
No, that's not.
Devin's brother.
That was, no, Damien is Dev's brother.
Damien is Devin's brother. Okay, sorry. I thought maybe sometimes
I haven't met that one.
talking about.
He's, I like him.
I don't approve of your choice of friends, okay? Okay, I know. Okay, so if Andrew pulled the trigger, you gotta make the evidence fit the puzzle now. You gotta put it all back together for us so that we understand.
What part isn't understood?
That I don't know. I wish I had all the answers.
Yeah, I can help you on that.
Okay.
So, at the beginning, you put all of this on Dom. You said it was Dom's idea.
It was.
You said that you gave Dom the gun that was used to pistol whip David almost to death. Okay? And you said that was all Dom.
One hit was not Dom and that was Andrew. One hit. The first one was Dom. And the first thing David said, he just started crying and started asking him to stop. And then Andrew came in with the second one, and then Dom just kept going.
Now, you're present when that's happening, obviously, because you're giving us your recount of that.
Yeah.
What are you saying? What are you doing? What are you seeing?
Standing here,
Outside
thinking
the
it shouldn't
trailer,
be happening, not doing anything about it. Inside the trailer, right at the door.
and you got there because Dom said, "Hey, this is about to go down.
He
Get out
said,
here."
get in here. I was standing outside at first. I just handed it to him. Like, he asked me to just give it to him. I said, okay. And he opened his door a little crack, and I handed him the 40. And he took it in there, and I said, I don't know what was going through my head, but at one point, like a couple minutes later, I ended up getting in there.
Okay, so you're now inside the trailer.
And I'm not even a full step in. I'm standing right at the door with the door closed, so my dad doesn't notice it's open and come out.
Where's David at?
David Grunwald,
Yes.
he was locked in the bathroom. They were holding the door shut, and they said, we got him locked in the bathroom. And they shut all the lights off, and he walked out. And that's when Dom hit him, and then Andrew hit him, and then Dom just kept hitting him.
You guys ran a line over for lights?
He's got to be making some noise at this point. You telling me David wasn't screaming?
He wasn't screaming, he wasn't.
I wouldn't hear it.
Neither.
I'm just asking.
Okay, sorry. Neither of them. They're both deaf.
So,
Love you, Grandma.
so you, Dominic, Andrew, and you're telling me Bradley was there too?
Yeah.
I have conflicting information on that. How sure are you that Bradley was present?
100%.
You guys all load him up together
What do you mean?
in the Bronco?
Oh,
No.
it was Dom just held him by the shirt and carried him out there and put him in the truck.
Which side do we put him in?
He was behind the driver's seat.
So behind the driver's seat, so that's a two-door vehicle.
Yeah, I wasn't watching the whole time. I went to go, what did I go do? At one point I wasn't present while they were putting him in there, I know that for sure. And then I came back and he was in there, and they said get in, and I sat in the front seat. I was in the passenger seat.
So you're in the passenger seat, Dom's in the driver's seat, then who else is, where is everybody else?
Brad's in the middle, right next to, so here's the back seat. David, Brad, Andrew, me, Dom, here's the driver's seat.
Alright, and then what?
And then it takes like 5 minutes for us to find out which key to start the car. And Dom asks him, he says, which key is it? And then he says, it's the stubby one, and I couldn't find it. I couldn't even see it, I didn't see it at all. And then he handed the keys to David, and David picked the one out and handed it. The key was bloody. I don't remember what happened to the keys, if the keys were in there or not. I don't know if it was in there when it got back. But, and then we backed out and took off.
Where'd you go?
We went. So you know when you're passing the church, going up, you're off, and here's SD. You're going that way towards the church, and it's that subdivision on the left. We drove through there, through the neighborhood, popped out the Tsunami Center. They're like, which way should we go? And I said, right, and then we took a right. And then we drove, and then we said left, and then we went to the view.
So you're giving them the driving directions?
I'm just taking directions. Normally, we fuck with spiritual, higher power stuff. So if like everything happens for a reason, that's how I see it. So and like when I have a feeling about something, I go with it. And normally it turns out to be
Test a lot.
Okay.
So I was just spitting out directions. And then they're like, I think Pete's a good idea, and I was like, why not? So we just drove around looking for a place to go, and he was saying, just take me to Grunwald. He was saying, take me to, because at this point he was unconscious for a good minute, and then at the end he was kind of coming back to reality, and then he was like, just take me to my girlfriend's dad, Mr. McKelkey or something. And then they said, we're taking you to Nurse Joyce to get you fixed up and all stitched up.
Who's the Nurse Joyce?
It was just what they were saying to make him less worried. And David Grunwald.
Continue.
We drove.
Where do you think you're going at this point?
It's dark. I honestly have no clue where we're going. I just know we're going to a secluded area.
So why are you going to a secluded area?
That's where Tom's driving to take him out. Tom said, he said he knows too much.
Okay, continue.
Did you?
Well, I'm just confused because like you're in this car with Dominic and a bloody 16-year-old kid that you claim is your friend. And at what point are you piping up here saying this is a bad idea?
That was at the beginning.
And I'm asking, like, you're in the car, clearly you're telling me that you know you're driving David Grunwald to his death. And I'm asking you, at what point are you piping up here saying this is a bad idea?
It wasn't me piping up, it was in my own head. I wasn't. I didn't know. I was afraid it was going to happen if I said it was a bad idea. And we drove out and they said that this seems like a good spot. And we pulled off. And he got out. And they all took first lead and I was walking in the back. And Dom was holding David Grunwald by his sweatshirt and carried him out there. And put him there. It was Dom, Sugar and Brad back here, Andrew here, and me standing right here, and David Grunwald right there. And as soon as he turned, that part was true. As soon as he turned, bang, and he just fell. And then Andrew started running, and I was like, okay, I guess we're running. So we ran. And I slipped and fell, like I went a different way, and they were like, this way. I was like, I'll go this way. And I went that way, and I slipped and fell in the water, but that's where I went. And then we went to the truck, and drove to Dev's.
She didn't go straight to Dove's, right?
I'm pretty sure we went straight to Dev's.
Okay.
Almost positive. Hold on. We're driving, and then Brad snapped his phone in half, David's, and then
Where's that phone at?
It's on the highway somewhere. It was thrown out the window. Down through the window when he was driving. And we drove, we were following ourselves back, we were retracing our steps, we didn't really know where we went. And Dom turned his phone on. And Andrew was like, that was dumb as fuck.
Why?
Because he didn't want Andrew's sketch about, sketch as in the word, about the phone SIM card. Because when you turn the phone on, SIM card activates and then it pings to the towers nearby and you can locate where it was, where it was at, kind of generally based on that. And Andrew did that. So he took it from and turned it off.
He took
Dom's phone.
Dom's phone and turned it off.
Took it from him. And then we were just driving. And I want to say we shake steps. You said that like you thought that I didn't, but
Yeah, your tablet wasn't your tablet, Dominic's phone, those things, they travel up Pittman Road. You guys went up Pittman at some point, it's right by where the gas station is, where you guys got some.
oh yeah, that's towards Dad's house.
Okay. Dev lives off Johnson, that's actually down the far side of the it was on the big road off Johnson.
Oh, did it look like kind of like you pulled off on the side of the road? Because that was probably to go get gas. That was probably when we were getting the gas, unless it was the kind of necessary, the pipeline necessary before that. But that's as far as I know. As far as I know, we went to Dad's house right after that. We drove around for a little bit. We didn't go like it wasn't the goal to go to his house right afterwards. We were just driving. Like, what are we gonna do with the truck?
And somebody's calling Dev. I think it was Dominic calling Dev.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what was said. There we go.
I do. But it is what it is.
Probably this just happened. What do we do? Something like that.
Are we getting better? Can I ask a question outside of this a little bit? So don't let me slow your roll or anything. But, remember when I don't know, a million years ago, the helmet was in the house and I got ringed up and all that, and we had that conversation? Who was it that threatened to come and shoot up my house and every vehicle I own?
I honestly have no clue. Like that's the only thing I don't know.
That was the voice that I didn't recognize. So I just wondered if maybe.
Yeah, no, I was always asking myself. I mean, like, because I want to know who went and threatened my mom. I really don't.
Mine was the Meg.
It wasn't. No. The one who like made those like rapey threats. That was Mason Sanders.
No, the one who, no, Devin is the one. Is that Meg's name?
Yeah.
No, it was him twice.
I was there when one of the calls happened.
Was that Brian's helmet?
No, it was Devin's.
Okay, that wasn't Devin's voice that threatened to come and shoot up my crap. Maybe it was, I don't think so, but.
Okay. So we're
Sorry.
going on the far sideline. You're going to Devin's house.
So we're dealing with some case.
Tell me about what happened when you get there.
We went to his house. We're just gonna tell him, what happened. He's like, you guys are stupid as fuck. And he's just crazy mad. And he said, he pointed at me, he said, you're the dumbest one of them all. And I said, I know. And he said,
why would he say that?
because then he was last at my house. He said he was last at your house, so then he would stand and go right back to me. And I was like, yeah, I know. And then we got the gas cans and left.
Gas cans from our house?
No, Dad's house.
Oh.
We
I'm
were
just
gonna
going to push pause for just 1 second. Like I said at the beginning, I have conflicting information on it.
Okay.
And I have conflicting information here, right? So obviously I can't give away all of the techniques and tactics we use in a homicide investigation, but I will say, technologically speaking, so social media and anything else that communicates with the airwaves, like a cellular telephone, tablets, computers, and all the messages, both text and voice, that has been happening throughout this investigation. The Alaska State Troopers have taken, we have those, right? And what you were telling me now about what happens at Devin's house isn't lining up with what I've got in that respect. Okay, that's what I did. So
I'm putting you on notice that what I'm getting from all of the technological stuff that I have isn't lining up with what you're telling me happened at Devon's.
Okay.
So,
And then we talked about where Andrew was going to go and what he should do. And he decided to stay there. I know that happened. I'm pretty sure Andrew stayed in his car out in the driveway that night. As far as I was concerned, that's what was the backup plan in case he wasn't allowed to escape.
At Devin's mom's house?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because his stepdad Clyde doesn't like people from home.
so is it possible at all that Devon didn't know that Andrew was there?
No. Sure that was the intention, was for him to come back. I don't know if he had let him know. I don't know if Andrew let him know when he came back, but I don't know why not.
Why do I have your voice, texts, social media, etc., saying to Devon that you were the one that did the deed, not Austin, aka Andrew? Why do I have that?
I don't know.
That's concerning. That's a part of that puzzle that I was talking about, is conflicting there. And it's a big piece.
Yeah, actually,
It's a big piece. Yeah. Okay. So Austin stays at Dev's.
As far as I know. So we drop him.
You drop him off. Where he goes from there is, you don't know. That's fine. And I've never asked you to answer the question that you could possibly know the answer to, but it's fine. That's fine. You guys go to the 49 holiday. We established which.
Oh, no. Andrew got dropped off after we got gas.
Okay, so he's still in the truck.
Because I was talking to him while they were talking. I was like, I haven't hung out with him in a while.
So you go to Dev's, then you go to the holiday, then you come back? Yeah. Okay. So, you go to Dev's, you tell him what happened. And who's talking primarily? Who's talking to Dev?
I don't know, but if there was anyone saying all this, it'd probably be Andrew. Because they're one of the closest.
So Andrew and Dev are tight?
Yeah.
And you and Andrew are tight?
Yeah.
You and Dev are tight? So, you guys go get gas, come back, you drop off Andrew Austin. How long do you stay at Dev's the second time?
It's nothing but for a minute, I'm pretty sure.
Do you talk to Dev again?
We pull up on the side of the road, and Andrew's like, if you guys can, go back there and dump bleach all over. And I said, no, we're in his car. Going back there, that is dumb.
So Andrew wants you to dump bleach on. Why?
He doesn't feel like, well, part of it was he wanted us to go make sure that it happened, because he was worried that he wasn't actually, gone. And the second part was because he was worried that we weren't smart enough with him. He said, go back there, dump bleach on him if you can.
Did you do that? Did you ever go back there? So, continue. You're at the gas station, you got the gas, you dropped off Andrew, he says you need to go back and put bleach on it, then where?
And then we're just kind of driving around, finding a place to go, like in the beginning, when we pull out of the tsunami center. We don't know really where we're going, we're just trying to go somewhere and find a place to burn it, and dog's driving. Again, still. And then somehow that leads us to wherever the car was been. I guess it was like a mile up. Sure. On that dirt road. I know the dirt road.
What's the dirt? Do you know the name of the road?
Oh no. It's like a trail. It's not a road.
Okay. Do you know the name of the road that gets you to the trail?
To the place where the car's been?
Have you ever been there before?
Is it down like where Joe lives?
It's down.
Is this where Joe lives or before?
It's past our. I remember passing our road. I remember passing not like our actual road, but Caribou, I was saying, the one that goes from Truck. You're going up the top of the hill and it's the right.
Okay, so that's Walmo's.
I remember just passing it. We passed it.
But you didn't go past Joe's house. Or you don't know?
No, we didn't go past Joe's house. That's too far.
So Joe lives off of Sage, and not Nash. And we live off of Olmos.
Did you stop at the bridge and do anything?
With the car. We stopped.
Just stop it all and do anything at the bridge?
Not with the car, no.
No, but I mean, like, hey, did you stop the car and then you guys do anything? Did you smoke weed? Did you drink alcohol? Did you just hang out at the bridge at all?
We went and burned the Bronco and we walked back and then we ended up at the bridge and then
Before you burned the Bronco, you went across the bridge?
Yes,
You didn't stop there with the Bronco, smoked dope, nothing like that? Okay, so you just crossed the bridge, drove right straight through? Okay, and then you go up, get up on the trail, and tell me again how the whole burning takes place.
me and Brad dumped gasoline all over the inside. Seats and, our steering wheel, dashboard, inside the glove box, door handle, door, back seat, all that. And then I try to light a branch and throw it in there because I'm not trying to get lit on fire. And then Brad walks up to the driver's side door, which both doors are open because at this point we were both standing there on each side.
Where's Dom?
He's standing about. I want to say he's watching. He's sitting there. At first I started pouring. No, at first Brad did. He was inside it, and he started pouring while he was inside, and then he made his way out. Don was like, hold up, I'm not done. And I forget what he was doing. And he wasn't done. Whatever he was doing, he wasn't done with it. And he was getting change out of the fucking thing, I'm pretty sure. And then Brad got out and went around the other side, and then Don backed up, and then he was just sitting there right on the other side, like the door's open, and he's sitting here between the hood and the door. And he's just sitting there, and Brad and I dumped gas all over the hood. Okay. And then I try to light the branch and throw it in there, and it doesn't catch, so I'm like, oh, shit, gotta find another branch, and Brad's like, no. Walks up to it, wants to pull out my other. And I'm sitting there at the passenger as the flames come at me, and they burn my hair, and I just close my eyes and walk, and like I just walk the other way, and I'm like, that was close. And then we walk all the way down the trail. Tom brings on his phone and everything. We were just walking, drinking a little bit. I had some alcohol on me, and I said, let's drink so we don't get cold. That was a good idea. I thought it was a good idea.
Where'd you get all the alcohol from? Darla's stash?
Maybe.
Okay.
And then we were drinking. And we ate to the bridge. We did some more drinking there. We found a can and made it into a pipe for smoking weed. Smoked a little bit there. Taxi drove by and we all just hopped up in. But we're at the bridge, sitting there on the rocks, hanging out probably like 10 minutes. At one point, okay, so we got to the bridge and we walked over here to the left, and then called taxi from here, and then made it to the other side, and then we went south over here.
How'd you guys pay for the taxi?
I had money. I had like $20.
You had $20? How much did the taxi ride cost?
No, I had $40. I had 43, I think. I want to say 43. Yeah. And
So you paid for the taxi?
we got a ride as far as $43 could get us, which was right up basically to the intersection at the laser car wash and where the road column is on. Laser car wash.
49th State Street.
Yeah, if that's the one. Yep. Yeah. And then we walked to Alyssa's from there, and it was probably like 3, 4 a.m. when we got there.
Did you go straight to Alyssa's?
Yeah, we just walked. No, we walked, and then we went to my dad's house and got pizza. We cleaned everything up.
Okay, so we cleaned everything up.
Well, I was going to get the pizza pockets while Dom and Brad cleaned up the blood.
Right, but pizza pockets take like 6 minutes to make, and that blood took an hour. Had to have taken
Then
at least a little bit of
it took
time.
like 4 minutes, honestly. And I didn't go make the pizza pockets. No, I went out. So I was like, you guys go do that, and I'll go get all the food and everything. And they're like, okay. So they went in there, started cleaning.
So Brad and Dom are cleaning up the blood in the trailer. And you're getting pizza pockets.
And here's the trailer, and I walk over to the left and go in the garage. And I get the pizza pockets, put them on the ground, and I'm like, we need these two, what was it? Chimichangas. And I grabbed like 6 of them, exactly 6. I put it in this pocket, and I switched. And then I grabbed 2 pizzas also. I put the 2 pizzas there, put the pizza box on top of it, close the freezer, put the alcohol bottles back on top of it, and cool it.
pick it up and walk out there, place it on the ground. And then I go to the side of the house and I unplug the extension cord because we need one for warmth in the trailer. And then I followed it into the garage because it was plugged into a light, so I went and unplugged that. And then I walked up in the. After that, I had everything kind of piled in a little pile, cord wrapped, and I wrapped up the cord sitting there while I was still outside. And then I put it over with the food, and I walked in the trailer. And then I saw they were pretty much done, and I just kind of hung around standing up. And then, because it's all in kind of like one little spot, or from what we could see. And then we just dipped out, and I grabbed all the pizza and the boxes, and board, and we just walked home. The water not home, so gave us extension. And just got home in there, Brad went straight to sleep. And then me and Dom drank in the trailer.
Where's the gun that was used to kill her?
I want to say it's at his house.
Where?
Huh?
Where?
I want to say it was at Deb's house.
Why do you want to say that?
Because that's where I would think it was. I'm pretty sure it was given to Andrew when we caught the phone.
What kind of gun is
It
it?
was a 9mm. It wasn't a Ruger. I'm not familiar with the company, but it wasn't a Beretta, it wasn't a Ruger. If you just start naming off companies,
High Point.
Huh?
Like High Point, Remington,
It was one I never heard of before.
Springfield.
Makes no was for sure, and then we did
Taurus.
Huh?
Taurus. Beretta.
That might have been it, Taurus. I think that might have been. But don't quote me.
So describe it though.
It's black, and I think the barrel sticks out a little bit. And it's got iron sights on it. And it should have a 15 clip like most 9mm. So then it's got the insignia of what the brand is right here, where like Ruger would have it right on the handle, right on the grip of it. It was right there, but it was like metal, it wasn't glass, it was a metal insignia. And it was like kind of shiny. I want to say it was like a bird looking thing, but it wasn't the Ruger Eagle on it, so.
But it was black.
Yeah, sure black. My 40 is silver.
Where's that at?
I gave it to someone. That someone should have been done.
Should have been or was?
It wasn't. He should still have it. I don't know. I don't know where. I haven't been able to get hold of him.
Why'd you give him the 40?
Because fucking there was a bunch of cops in the house. That was the night that my house was getting searched. And I was at my friend Claire's house. It was about that.
So you had it with you when you went to Claire's, and then you handed it off to Dom because we had just searched your house. And the gun that, the 9mm that you say was used to kill David, where did they come from?
I don't know. I don't know, honestly.
Well, you know that the reason I'm asking is because why in the world would Dominic call you and ask you for a gun to pistol whip David with when Andrew, the person who you claim is in the trailer with Dominic, has his own gun? That's confusing.
Because he said that the 9mm wasn't, it was plastic on the bottom, so it wasn't like, because my 40 is metal. All metal, and there's a rubber grip, and it's pretty heavy. So he said he wanted to use the heavier one. They were trying to knock him out. They were trying to shoot him. So he used my 40 instead of the 9 because the 40's heavy. And he wanted to
Used your
knock
40
him out.
instead of the 9, but you would have had to have already been locked in the bathroom by the time this happened.
By the time I handed it to him?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was locked in my bed when I handed it to him. As far as my knowledge was, I hadn't walked in there yet.
And at no time did you say, hey guys, this is a terrible plan. You guys shouldn't do this. I don't see any of that on Facebook.
I remember saying,
I got every deleted message ever sent to you. I don't see you ever.
I said something to his, I remember saying something to the extent of that, showing that I wasn't okay with it happening. I don't know.
The ones I'm seeing, they'd say exactly the opposite. You kind of look like you're in on this. And you're telling me you're physically taking the gun, which tells me
you actually are kind of along with this. And if you are, you just need to say you are.
What do you mean by along with it?
Like you're not objecting to it, and you're helping.
You understand what's gonna happen to this kid, and you are going along with it.
I didn't know that he was going to get killed until we left.
But you guys knew you were gonna beat the shit out of him. Okay, that's reasonable.
That's much was known to me.
That is a reasonable assumption.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's something that that maybe I missed, maybe I don't get. So one person has a gun, but their gun's not cool enough to beat somebody in the head with.
It's not heavy enough.
Listen, if I got some kid, anybody, trapped in the bathroom, I'm gonna grab whatever is closest and I'm gonna start swinging shit.
This is.
Does that make sense?
They wanted to knock him out one hit. They didn't want to.
But I grabbed the cast iron pan,
And so they tried to grab the cast iron cord.
which was rare though. They had to go get it.
It was
Literally steps from the garage.
It was on.
It was out there.
It was no. It wasn't in the garage. The footage
Oh.
was in the
What
garage.
I'm saying is,
Oh, I'm
the
sorry.
garage is closer than you are with a gun, and the garage has tools, yeah?
Yeah.
Hammers, crowbars. How the crowbar in there?
Mhm.
I don't understand why, after 3 people that are in this trailer, and you say you're not, have to go Facebook you to get you to bring them something heavy, when any one of those 3 people steps to the garage and grab a crowbar or a hammer.
I couldn't tell you the logic in it, but I feel like it could be because they know that, or they think that no one would ever have any of our weapons. That's what they think.
They wouldn't know to go to the garage.
Oh yeah, they don't know that shit's in there.
Which one? Because we've been moving everything since I got my new sheds put in.
I couldn't tell you the logic on it.
I wouldn't even know where to go.
I get the logic of that. That I know my buddy who's in on this has a big gun on him. I'm gonna say, hey, bring that over. That part I get rather than rummaging through somebody's garage. But what I don't get is why don't I just grab something big and heavy that's right there? That's the part that doesn't make sense to me. Because I would just grab whatever. Because at that point your adrenaline's got to be pretty high. You're not really thinking things out. If you're gonna bash some kid in the head, you're gonna grab whatever's available.
There's nothing available in the trailer though.
Except for the gun they already have on.
Huh?
Except for the gun they already have on.
That's true.
These
are the kind of questions that make their puzzle fit for them. You understand? Okay, great.
I couldn't tell you the logic behind it. I really. I don't think maybe Andrew wasn't really down with it. Maybe that's why. Maybe he didn't want his tool to be caught up in something like that. But then I don't know. Maybe change his mind later because he definitely used it to shoot it. I don't know. I couldn't tell you. I know that like raises a little bit of suspicion for you, and that sucks. Because I've been doing this to be since I came at this point.
So then I'm going to fast forward just a little bit. Why then do you tell Deb that you threw the gun in the river?
I don't understand that.
Because she's not the only one that told me that you threw the gun in the river.
The gun's still out there somewhere. Someone still has it. Guaranteed. Guaranteed someone
That's
still
a
has
piece
it.
of the puzzle that would really be helpful, which is probably why he's asked you 17 times where the gun is. Do you
I
understand?
don't know where it's at. I know that it went home. It should have went home with Andrew.
Okay, so you know Andrew. He's your buddy.
Yeah.
He's your homie. He's your whatever.
He's my brother.
He's your brother. Great. So, if you get it, you're a smart kid. Get into Andrew's head and what would he have done with it? Like, help them get to where this gun is. If it isn't in the river like everybody says, you're smarter than anybody I know.
Him and I get along so well because our.
Then fine. What would you have done with it? What would you have done with it?
I would have kept it.
Because you would have kept it.
I would have kept it.
You would have kept it because you think that you can outsmart people and you would have been able to hide it in a place no one would find it. Yeah.
That's valid.
That's what you
That's
think.
what I
Does
would-
Andrew have that same chip on his shoulder that you do? Is he that cocky?
He would probably. He's pretty cocky. Just that cocky, but he would have been more smart. He
Okay.
would have, I feel like. If I were thinking it was going to be found, then I would take every little piece of part of it and throw it in different fucking parts of the state. I really would. Water and everything.
But you didn't do that.
No,
No, sir.
So why do they keep saying he threw it in the river? I mean, there's all these kids involved, and all these kids are gonna lie to try to stay out of trouble. Like, that's reasonable. So there's probably something more than just these kids are all saying the same thing. Because when people started getting questioned, you know, I mean, kids are gonna try to collaborate and come up with one clear story. That's just save your own ass. But, so there's probably a little more than everybody keeps saying this is happening. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
There's probably, I mean, if I had to guess, which all I'm doing is guessing, but
And what I'm doing here is I'm throwing out information to see whether or not your willingness to be truthful. Because honestly, I don't care if I'm in the river. What I'm checking to see is if the information that you're willing to give me about that specific event lines up with everything else that I've got. Okay. And so when I ask you if the gun went in the river, it's one of those things. Like maybe I already know the answer to this question, right? But in order for that gun to have gone in the river, you would have had to have known about it.
Yeah, I didn't know about it going in the river. I didn't know. No one told me about that. If it happened, then I should have been told. I feel like they would have told me if it happened.
I feel like you were in the truck at the time, so you would have known without them telling you because you were present.
No pistol ever got thrown out of the car when we had the truck. Nothing ever got thrown out of it except the phone.
I'm gonna paint you a little different picture, okay? So, there's questions that they don't have the answers to, right? That's what you're banking on, really. I know you. And you're banking that they don't know very many, okay? But they know a lot.
Wait, what do you mean?
They know a lot of the details, right? And they're not gonna tell you, okay? Because they're cool like that. But, there are some they don't know, right? Otherwise they'd have no reason to question anybody, right? So there are pieces they don't know.
But they don't want you.
Of course! I can show all my cards, come on.
There's a person I just.
So what they're, wait, yes, okay, that's a stupid idea right now. But,
Except for me.
if your pieces match their pieces that they have as facts, then they're more likely to believe the things you tell them about the pieces they don't know. Does that make sense? You're like, hey, this kid is spilling his guts about all this crap we already know. This checks out, this checks out, this checks out. Ah, I bet he's right about this one too. That we don't know about, but we really need to know. Does that make sense? So the more the pieces match for them, the more it validates what you're saying, and you can help them fill in the pieces they don't know, which is what they really want, which is why they're spending all this time questioning you and questioning everybody else. But when your pieces don't match, they're like, well, we can't really trust this kid. And they're not going to. And they're going to be like, oh, and they're going to let you hang for it.
So as long as I've been talking ever since when I restarted, like the last time when I restarted.
So I look at things.
Right.
I look at trends. I have a saying, one is a coincidence, two is a trend, three is a pattern, four is like a tradition, right? I'm looking for a trend of truthfulness. Now backed up by evidence. You okay?
I don't have any more water.
Straight
That's not mine.
Brand new, unopened, right there.
It's hot in here.
It is, we didn't want it. So I'm looking at trends. Okay. And I'm not looking at trend of story A, trend of story B, trend of story C, because we're at trend of story E with you right now. What I'm looking at is the trend of all of the stories combined, A through E, right? And right now, I've got more deceptive stories than I have truthful stories with you, and I'm trying to get past the deceptiveness. I'm trying to up the average, if you will, with my truthfulness trend, and I'm not quite there yet.
I want to get you there. This whole part at the end, I've been as truthful as I possibly can.
And actually, I will back up what you're saying. That is the most truthful information that I've received from you, is what happens basically after you get to Debs. Unfortunately, and is very common, the stuff that happened before that you're minimizing. And minimization is a very, very, very common thing for folks in your position to use. Basically what I'm saying is you're giving us a piece of the pie, but it's only the piece you want to tell us because the rest of it looks really bad for you. So you're minimizing your involvement.
And I'm trying to get you to the point where you're just like, and you just give us everything, right?
I was trying to do that.
So, ask what he would like more detail about.
What did I?
I want to go more into what is happening inside the trailer at the beginning. I want to go into more detail about the once you stop on Connect River Road and you guys walk out to murder David Grunwald. I want more detail on both of those snippets in time.
What? Okay, so you think I was in the trailer like most of the time? Right?
At least near it and not doing anything to stop it. Yeah.
Okay. I didn't do anything to stop it. I was not for it, but I wasn't showing any signs that I was against it.
And you provided the gun that they used the pistol with. So explain to me a way why that doesn't make you look like one of the more worst people in this situation. Yeah, they have him held up in the bathroom, and yeah, that sucks, and that's terrible. And they're definitely bad for doing that. But you bring in the weapon used to cause him harm. They're just holding him into the bathroom. You actually bring the tools used to cause harm to David. So your job now is to explain to me why you are not the more worst person in this situation. And if you can't, you can't.
Yeah. I don't really take cameras at all.
Beautiful. I love that. That's good. You should keep that attitude throughout life.
So wait, what's the question? Sorry.
My question is, that's okay. No, I understand. My question is this. How am I supposed to believe that you are not spearheading this entire operation by bringing this tool to the table, proverbially speaking?
I can't provide any evidence that says that I wasn't.
Can you explain?
My thought process.
That would be helpful. Sure, that's something, because that's something unique to you that they're not going to have the answer to. They're not going to picture that, right? So go through that.
I feel like whether or not I brought that up, it would have happened. That doesn't matter. But
So what's going through your head, baby?
I don't know. I just feel like when I say stuff, it's not being believed, and I don't want.
Fine, then say it for what it is and puke it all out.
That's what I was trying to do last time. But so the two things that you saw are the ones that those are the things that make you feel suspicious, right? Because I want to get those out of the way. I don't want you to feel that.
Yeah, well, I certainly want more detail about it. I mean, yeah, the fact that you're leaving out the detail does make me suspicious that maybe it's not as truthful as it could be. And I'm not discounting that what you told me may be somewhat truthful, but I think there's an underlying portion that you're skipping over. You're skimming that part, and that's that minimization I was talking about. I believe there's more to this iceberg than just the tip you're giving me.
Well, at the beginning, he said beat the shit out of them. Whatever the reason for that, obviously must have been a good enough reason to do it for him.
Because you say at the beginning, what do you mean at the beginning? Where's the beginning for you?
The beginning is when Dom says, bring up the 40 and I'm taking it down.
Okay.
That's the
You're going to the bathroom and he tells you bring out the 40. Okay, so that's the first time you understand that David's about to get an ass whipping.
Yeah, he says, I'm being the shit out of this kid, and I said, I don't remember how the exact conversation went, so don't quote me on it, but it went something like, I'm being the shit out of this kid, and I'm almost positive you said I didn't, but I'm pretty sure I said no, don't. And then he said, no, I'm dead ass serious, and I threw a bunch of laughing faces because I just took it as a joke. And then I could tell he was really serious, and I was like, oh, he must have done something. So, yeah, I'll bring it out.
So this is this is like what I would consider the first possibility of you to not be involved in this, right? And then, but for whatever reason, you don't take that. Instead you go from being separated from this incident to getting involved in the incident, and not only getting involved, but bringing a tool to the table that causes David Grunwald to get his butt kicked, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So then, and I need you to be honest, this is part of that whole full disclosure thing, right? You get over there, you hand off Dom the pistol. What happens next?
I close the door, and they don't open the door yet, and they don't start beating me yet. And a couple minutes pass by, and I'm like, well, I don't know what's going through my head, but I decided to go in. So I walk in there, he closes the door, and they kind of freaked out. They're like, who is that? And I'm like, it's Eric. They're like, oh, it's Eric.
This trailer is so small, you can't barely change your mind in it.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, so now you're telling me that Dom, he's 6'3", 250, 260.
Yeah.
Bradley ain't a small dude, but he's not big as Dom.
No.
Austin, also a normal size kid, and now you, and they don't know you're the one coming in? How? Like, you guys gotta be on top of each other. And who's holding the back of the door shut?
Andrew, I'm pretty sure he's holding the door shut.
He has to get out of the way for you. There's no room for him.
He's like standing with his foot and his back's facing the fridge. And Brad should have been behind Dom, and Dom was right here. And I'm pretending to be Andrew. So he hears me, door's behind, our fridge is behind me, foot's in front of the door, Dom's here,
What's David Grunwald doing?
he's in the bathroom.
Right, but what's he doing?
He's trying to get out, he's just asking to let him out. That's what I hear. Asking that he's saying he had to pee, so that's why he went in. And they said, just go use it. Just go use it. So don't pee in the trailer, and that doesn't work. And then it's Dom, and then like diagonally but behind him, it's Brad. So I could see Brad if I were. And there's Dom. And then I just pop up in the doorway, and I just stand there. And David's in the bathroom, so that's that.
So at this point, what does David think is happening?
He just thinks he didn't hear me come in. He just thinks that it's a joke.
That because you guys were all friends and you locked him in the bathroom because that's funny.
I didn't lock him in the bathroom.
Well,
The
whoever
people
did.
who he was hanging out with were not his friends.
Did he believe they were his friends?
He believed that they were my friends, so they were okay.
Okay.
That's why.
Because he's there to see you.
Apparently,
Not there to see Dominic. It's not
he came there. Well, he came there under the influence of David Evans. So.
Okay, but now David Evans isn't even part of this.
No, I know. I'm saying that he came there. I don't know why David.
Like the invitation.
It was probably. Oh yeah. That's what I'm saying. So I didn't.
But he shows up because he's your friend. Didn't you say you knew him since you were like 9 or something?
No, 9th grade.
9th grade. Okay. So what's that? 2 years? Okay. So, Austin's holding the door. You show up. Now you got the gun.
I didn't even.
You handed the gun, and then you sat back out. Now it's a couple minutes later. You walk back in. Nothing's happening.
You said something a little bit wrong, so I'm going to clarify.
Beautiful.
I didn't go when you come out. The door opened and I was standing outside.
Right. You handed it.
And I ended up doing it. And then he
through
closed it.
the crack in the door.
Yeah. And I was like,
And then you close the door,
close it.
and you waited.
And I kind of just sat there. And I was thinking in my head, what's going on?
Why didn't you go in? Why did you stay outside?
Because I didn't want to be a part of them being the fuck out of David.
Because he's your friend. But why didn't you stand up for him?
Because I can't stand up to those people.
Why?
It's not cool. It's not.
Because then you wouldn't be part of their group anymore? Or because you weren't worried that they would take it out on you? Or you wanted to show your own
I didn't want to be removed from the group. And I was also scared what they would think if I didn't seem to be about it.
Like, okay, I understand. Thank you.
Continue. Now you're all four in the, well, 5 technically, right, in the trailer together. What happens next?
And well, hold on, let's take a step back.
Okay.
I'm not inside yet, I'm standing outside. And I'm thinking about it, I was fucked up, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go in there so that I can not be fucking, have to watch my back for my own people. And so I go in there, and then they're just making sure it's me. And I say, Andrew asked Donald if he's ready. He says, are you ready? He said, yep. And they open the door, and Andrew steps back, and I'm like right at the door. My back's almost up pressed against the door. So I'm standing right there, and Andrew just takes a step back, and he gets out. And Dom takes a second just to, get his accuracy on, because it's dark. It's like all the lights off and everything, so you can see. And he's straight. First thing he does, fall to the ground. And then Andrew ducks down, and then Dom. And I remember 4 consecutive hits, really quick. That's what I remember from the sounds. I remember him saying, asking to stop and crying. And then I remember Dom just keep going.
Okay. What next?
And I just remember we're in the car after that. I remember After that, it's a little bit blurry, but
Let me ask you this. Why not just let it be with an aspirin? Why's it got to go to murder?
he said that he knows too much. That's what he said. Their exact words.
That's too much about what? His own ass whipping? Kids get their ass whipped every day. Bridge the gap for me between this kid getting, tuned up and why he needs to now be murdered.
That's just what they said needed to happen.
When did David know about what was going on? That
David
we don't
Grunwald?
want people to know. Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. What do you mean? Hold up.
David knew something about something that was going on with this group of kids that was not acceptable or appropriate or legal.
He
What
just,
did he know too much about?
I don't know. I think they just, I interpreted it as he knows who did it. So then he would snitch. So then Ray shows Amber who says he knows too much.
I gotta interject for a second. So at that point, before you guys leave, they're like, he knows too much. That's when they decide that you gotta murder this guy and take him out, right? Because they said he knows too much. I'm just trying to get that straight from what you said.
I don't remember if it was there in the car.
But it was there when you guys get in the car, at least then you're at the house, right?
It makes sense that it would be
Something like that.
Right.
before you get in the car, because why would you load in the car if you
That's
already have
what, I
that?
guess that's what I'm trying to say.
Correct.
Okay. So you guys make the decision right then and there, and then continue. I just want to clarify that for myself. And where in this interim, we'll use that, like the middle ground here between trailer and truck, where in there telling them, okay, this is over, he's had enough. Where's that at?
What do you mean? Like, what?
I'm
I don't
asking
know
you.
what. Like, getting shitty out of him?
Yeah.
I think he was just believing a lot, and they were like, okay. And then, originally, I'm pretty sure, well, I had interpreted, I was just planning that we were going to drive his Bronco around and drop him off in a fucking gravel pit while he gets shit beat up, while he had the shit beat up. That's what I interpreted as we were leaving.
They said you knew too much.
They said,
Why
I
would
want to
you
say
have
they said that before we left.
Right, that's what I'm getting at. I'm sure they did say that before they left, before all of you left. But that's the gap I'm trying to bridge here is the fact that, like, you know, going into the truck in your driveway, before you ever put it in R to get out of the driveway, that this is going to end in murder. They just said that you know too much.
That's what I heard. I honestly was 100% on everything, 100% certain we were going to drop him off. And that's what I wanted to do. I just wanted to drop him off.
Okay, so let's explore that theory. You know that they're going to drop him off in a gravel pit somewhere, hopefully, and somebody's going to find him.
That's what I wanted to do.
Sure, that's what you wanted to do.
That was the
Explain to me what your plan is to get back to the house.
drive the Bronco.
So he's going to drop David in the 5-degree weather in the middle of a gravel pit,
It wasn't really thought through, but yeah.
and you're going to drive his truck, now stolen by your crew and you, back to where? Your house?
I don't know. I didn't know. It just all happened so quickly. There wasn't really a plan.
It's the part of the story that I have the problem with.
Yeah, I think there was a plan.
Because there was a plan, and you actually were the navigator. You made the decision on where you were going and what you guys were going to do by saying, we're going to go right here, we're going to go left here, we're going out in view. So you ultimately had control of that situation in the sense that you could have ended up anywhere. You chose to go down where it was. You chose that was the place to stop.
I gave 2 directions. I gave the right.
That's not what you said before.
No.
No, it's not.
That's not was not my intention.
Well, why not, you know where the hospital is?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. Why not just go to the hospital if you're going to drop him in a gravel pit somewhere? Let's go kick him out of his own truck at the hospital.
Because I figured we'd all get trouble for it.
But taking him out and murdering him, is it worse? I don't mean to sound like an a-hole here, but man, I'm grasping at straws, I'm trying to believe you aren't the worst of the 4 here. I really am.
I agree.
But I have you navigating to where he ends up getting murdered. You're not driving the car physically, but figuratively speaking,
Probably.
you appear to be driving the car. You appear to be a shot caller in this particular situation.
3 directions.
It doesn't matter. you're giving him. You give directions, whether it's 14 or 3. You give directions to where he ends up. And I'm trying to give you as much opportunity as I can here to not be the worst guy, but every time I come to something, it's like, man, you didn't take an opportunity to get out of this situation. Ever. You know? We didn't drive him to the hospital. We drove him to a very, very remote location. You didn't just stay in the truck. I know.
Did I say that to you?
No.
Okay.
But I'm telling you, there are opportunities here that you didn't take advantage of. Leads me to believe that you're a willing participant in the death of David Grunwald. And I'm asking you, I'm begging you, give me a reason why I shouldn't believe that.
I wish I could. I wish I could. I was the reason we ended up in the view. I wasn't the reason why we ended up where we were was chosen by Dominic. Where the situation happened, it was his choice to pull over, and he said right here.
Okay. So take us to that. You guys all pop out of the rig. I'm going to let you tell the story again because the last time it made a big difference than this time, so go from there.
We all got out. I'm going to be more descriptive. We got out of the car, and everyone, I want to say Andrew led us in the woods wherever this place was going to be. We didn't know where it was going to be.
Okay.
It was just going to be found when it was found and determined where it was. And he said here. So we all just kind of stood around. But while we got out.
What's everybody saying? What's everybody smelling? What's everybody doing?
No one's saying much, except just at first David started to scream. He started to get loud.
What did he scream?
I want to just say he was being loud.
No, stop. You were there.
Yeah.
What did he
He
scream?
didn't scream. He was just starting to raise the tone of his
What's
voice.
he saying?
I want to say he was saying to take us to Mrs. McElpy's. Mr. McElpy's home.
So would you say he's pleading with you?
Yeah.
Begging you? What does he look like? What kind of injuries does he have? He's got head injuries, obviously. What does he
He's got
look like?
blood down his face.
Which side of his face?
I didn't really look at him. It was really dark outside.
Could he walk on his own? He could walk on his
So it
own.
was kind of hard, but yeah, he could.
Explain how it was hard. These are the details.
Yeah, he was wobbling a little bit. Dominic had to hold him up. He was holding him by his sweatshirt. It was this side of him, right here. And he was walking him through the woods over the trees and everything.
So Dominic is escorting him by the right shoulder, but grabbing onto his sweatshirt.
Yeah. And we just keep going and we walk over the trees and wherever Andrew said it was he said here. And then
It's dark out there. He's got the flashlight.
no flashlight. As far as I can remember, there's no flashlight.
Who's, in what order do you go into the woods?
I want to say Andrew, Brad, Dom, David, Dom and David are one, and then me behind them.
And what's everybody saying to do? Smoking, joking, just...
No one's saying much, really.
At this point, I'm imagining what you're telling me. David has got to be pleading for his life at this point, yes?
Yeah, but he started to get loud. Dom said, "Shut the fuck up, don't say anything." And he pointed the gun at him, and the handle was down. It wasn't that.
And that was your gun.
No, sir.
That was not your gun.
No, it wasn't that.
Where's your gun in this?
My gun is in my waist. It wasn't that. And the hammer down, so I don't shoot myself. And we're walking through the woods, stepping over trees. I fell once, and we get to the point where Andrew says, "It's here." So Dom pushes him to where, it's kind of there's bushes, kind of, I don't want to say trapping him. So he pushes, half circle around the back of him. And it was me, Andrew. Dom was over here, right next to him, and Brad was back there. And as soon as he looked up at Andrew and pulled through. And I just remember his legs giving out and his head falling back first.
When you say turn around, what are you talking about? Like he pushes him, and I'm just trying to get this in my head. Pushes him down. So he's got him facing away from him.
He's standing up. I won't say more.
He pushes him down.
And he pushes him into the spot, and he's still standing. And he turns him around facing us, and as soon as he looks up at Andrew, that's when the bullet went through.
and he does nothing but just drop his legs, give up. His head hits the ground before his body hits.
And then
And then Andrew runs and I run, and I don't want to look at it. I don't want to see what happened. I didn't want to. And but Brad told me that he looked. He told me that he sat there and looked for a good minute, probably 30 seconds. He said he didn't see me hold everything. Because at one point they were trying to turn the oil legs, and he felt it bad. He was like, I feel like he's going to die.
when did that happen?
That was when we were in Toronto, right?
Okay, so let's back up just a little bit. You take off running with Andrew?
Yeah.
Bradley's still there?
Bradley is just kind of slacking behind everyone here.
Where's Don?
He leaves before Bradley. But he's still standing back there and just starts walking the way we're going. And then Andrew gets out of my side and he's already running and going, and I was like, okay, so I just started walking with Don. And I thought Bradley was behind us, honestly. He said he wasn't. He looked fairly good. And I went like, we were walking, and there was this obvious way to go, but it wasn't the way. So I went that way, and they said, no, it's this way. And I was already there. I was like, no, whatever, I'll go this way. You can't do that. So I walked around, and I started sliding down. There's like a river, a little stream, and it's frozen, and the ice comes down, slanted. So I start sliding down it, and I jump to the other side. And then I start sliding back into the river, spray on my surface area so I can not, go into the water. And then I crawl up the side of it, and I'm like, well, I'm gonna go get in this water somehow. So I just walk through and walk to the other side and back to the front. Then the car was facing away from the street.
Okay, and then?
And then he pulled out and we started driving. And Andrew started saying,
back up. Those are the details that make sense. You're out at the Bronco.
Yeah.
Is anybody already there?
They're all in there already, because I took the one that kind of long way around, and I kind of was running there because I didn't want them to leave.
Sure.
So I was kind of worried about that, but I made it. I ran that, and it wasn't even started by the time I got there. But if you're looking at the road from where the Bronco is, it's facing that way, left. And we pulled out. Don was driving, like he was the whole time, and he pulled out. And I want to say we went right back towards where we came from. And Andrew said he has a bad feeling. He's like, it didn't feel like I actually did it. And then he said, I wonder if he's actually gone. And he asked everyone if they had confirmation or anything. And I told him I didn't see anything. I sound like there's no way that he's probably still alive. But I said I didn't see the bullet or anything. And then he asked everyone, and Brad said that he stayed back.
And what did he say? What did they say about him?
So he was just kind of sketchy. He just was a little bit scared that it was him, that he wasn't dead.
Well, what did Bradley say? He said Bradley's the guy who I stayed behind.
Oh yeah, Bradley just said that he stayed back and he looked at him for like a minute or something, and he didn't see the hole in his head or anything. He didn't see any hole.
But he never said he saw him moving or say anything.
He said he saw his fingers twitch. He said he saw his fingers twitch.
And then what happened?
And then Austin said sketch. And then we just kept driving. And I don't remember the whole conversation, but I remember it was about, part of it was about Dom driving fucking normal, because he was just all over the place. And then another conversation was about getting rid of his phone, and another one was about what we're going to do with the truck. And then we ended up back at the place, and I don't know if I knew we just drove around, and then figured out from there, we were like, okay, we'll go back to Dad's and see what we should do. And that was Andrew's idea, his idea to go back to Dad's. And we went there, he asked him what to do, and he was really mad. He was sad for himself. He said, give me all your straps so I can hold him here while you go, because he thought that he just didn't want the cops, to pull us over while we were burning a fun car and having guns on us. So he said it's probably a smart idea if he leaves us here. So we left you with him and came back to the
Name the guns he left.
It was a 40 caliber and a 9mm. And
Did you ever go back and get yours? And you gave that to Dom?
No, I went back and got it when we went to go bring the car. But like when we dropped Andrew off, because we gave it to him the first when we showed him. And then we drove to get gas, and I said, well, if we're going out in the middle of nowhere, you should probably have something to keep us safe. So I said, Dad, you know, you can bring me my 40 when we show up. And he said, okay. And he was kind of sketchy about it, and I told him, I was like, you know, need something to keep us safe. If some bad stuff, you know, some people show up or whatever. And then we drove off, and we were driving around. Our goal was to go to Riverbed, which is right there, you know, right by the gas station. And then he was like, no, let's go to Cold Oaks. So we started driving towards Cold Oaks. And then I don't know how we ended up where we did. But we were just driving around finding a place to do it at, and that's where Dominic did to burn it out. So, any questions? I don't know how we go with this one, but I just want to stop there and take a little checkpoint.
I got a quick question. So when you guys first got to the point where you took, or Dominic took David out of the vehicle, and you guys led him into the woods and then he was shot. And unless maybe I missed it, but when you initially told us what the order was of you guys going in there, you left out Bradley. And I'm just wondering if that was a mistake. So what was Bradley in line? So I've got my
Bradley
stories.
I want to say he was second.
Okay, that's it. Just
Thank you for wording it the way you did.
so keep going. So you go and Bronco gets burned out.
And then we walk down the dirt road. We keep walking.
He makes a phone call.
Let's go. And we're walking down the road, and I'm like, get off the fucking phone. We need to call a taxi. And we said, okay. And we got off the phone, and we were walking down the road, drinking. And we didn't call a taxi at that point. Yeah. He decided to get back on the phone. And then he got off, and I was like, get the fuck off the phone. We need to call a taxi. I'm not trying to be gold. He was like, okay. So he got off the phone. And then we walked, and we were pretty much at the bridge by the time he was off the phone and everything.
Who's he talking to?
I'm pretty sure he was talking to Gary. And we were just walking, drinking, trying not to get too cold. And we made it to the bridge, and we called a taxi. Apparently, Brad said, he's like, I know this $5 taxi service, so he called that one, but it wasn't $5. He said, I'll take you anywhere in Wasilla, but for $5. I said, it could be true. And it was, like most things they said.
You guys talked to Garrett after you killed David?
That's what Dom did.
Oh my God!
So the taxi shows up.
And I had a bottle in my back pocket, and I dropped the can we were smoking with. And then Brad found it. I got a bottle in my back pocket, and Brad said, you hand it to me and stuff, something, and hand it to me. That's it. And it's hold on to it. And again, the taxi takes us to buses, and I'm sorry, my bad. It takes us to that intersection, and we walk to buses.
Well, first you stop at your trailer, right?
Yeah. Before that, we were walking past and we were deciding whether we should go. And I was like, well, we're going to need food and be warm, so I'm trying to go get more food. He said, okay. So we walked to my dad's house, which is just right down the road. 3 pathways, downhill, over the hill, through the woods. And we get to my dad's house, I tell them, I guess I tell them to go clean up while I go get the food, and they say, okay, deal. So I went in the garage, got a box of pizza pockets.
Where did they get the cleaning supplies from?
They were, originally they were going to use a bottle of vodka I had. There was 100 proof vodka. And then they were like, well, there's 409 in here. So after I got back and they said there was 409 in here, I was like, because I asked if they used all the alcohol. Did you use all the vodka? And they were like, there's 409 in here. And anyway, I went in the garage and got the pizza roll, pizza pockets, and I put the box on the ground. Grabbed 6. Jimmy John's. And grabbed 6 of them because there was 3 of us at that point. Sweet John and Brad. And then I get the pizza box, get 2 of them, put them on the ground, put the pizza rolls on top of them. I want to say I put the chimichangas. No, I put them in the box after I set them down outside. So I walked outside, set the pizza in the pizza pockets, and we put them down, and I took the chimichangas out and threw them in there. Managed to get everything in one place, and I go over to get the extension cord, and I unplug it from the garage, and I trail it into the other garage, and I was like starting to pull it, and it's like making shit fall on my phone. So I walk in there, and it's connected to a light, and I unplug it, start rolling it up, place it over by the pizza boxes, and I walk in the trailer to see if they're done. And they're just finishing up as I walk in.
Well, where did they get the cleaning supplies?
There was a rag they used, I believe. It was just a hand towel, and there was four men in the trailer.
Where did the bleach come from?
The bleach was out there. Bleach was like 5 feet.
Okay, so they clean up with the 409 and you re-clean up with the bleach. Why do you re-clean up with the bleach?
So I just thought it was a good idea. I didn't feel comfortable with it.
And there's a ton of spots, by the way. All of them did. So you got, did you get anything else besides the food, the extension cord? Oh yeah, that's what I was going to ask you. Where'd the carpet go?
The carpet, it was burned.
Where did it get burned at?
Crevice Miranda.
Where at Crevice Miranda?
That's the place I'm talking about, right? The big 2 hills between pathways, yeah, right in the middle.
Okay.
There should be
where
like
did that
a
get
pile of
burned?
dirt and shit that night. Oh wait, yeah, that night. Because Brad was complaining that he was cold and he was trying to go lay down and sleep.
Okay, so you go from the trailer to Crevasse Moraine and then to Melissa's.
It's on the way. That's how I get there. I go through the Leslie's, through their house, no, not their house, but through their property, through this vacation home's property, and then keep walking, and then into a cul-de-sac. Excuse me. And then I go down it, and then we burn it. He has a torch. Dominic does, and he burns with the torch.
Where do you get the torch?
It was from Dune Dams.
You have that the whole time?
Yeah. In his backpack. I don't remember
Did
seeing
you
a
use anything
backpack.
to burn it? Because most carpet doesn't just burn just by lighting the corner.
He sat there, we sat there for like 4 minutes, 5 minutes while he was trying to burn his house and places.
Did it burn?
Yeah, eventually. There's a pile of dirt debris in the bottom.
Did you go back and look at it since then?
I walk home from school sometimes, so I noticed it walking home before it snowed.
Okay. So if you come out on the Valley Pathways Road, the road that goes to school, from like the power line area where you pop out, you go left to the school, you go right up towards the highway, almost the
No, I
highway.
think here.
How do you get to where that rug is burned?
I go through, okay, so here's my house, and there's power line trails that go through here.
Yep.
And I follow those, and then Leslie's house is right here, and I cut through like a corner of the yard. Go by the snow machines. There's a little rope that's like a trespassing rope or whatever. Walk over it. Go through this guy's house. You just not through his house, but through his yard, and you just walk straight. I just walk straight through his yard. And then you keep walking straight into a cul-de-sac, and it kind of curves in the cul-de-sac. There's these caution cones because there's a huge hole in the middle of it. And you keep walking in the grass, and you keep walking, and then it leads to the right. And there's a big hill, and then in Crevice Moraine, and you go down. I went down it, up it, and then right there you're at the top of it. You can see pathways, and I just walk straight and follow the concrete road all the way out to where the Allstate building is, and that meets the highway. But this is what happened on the way. On the way there, we were after we passed pathways and we were on the road walking, Brad got mad because we weren't being fast enough. So he threw all the pizza pockets on the ground. He threw the box of pizza pockets on the ground, dropped the pizza. He was pissed, and I didn't realize that. But me and Dom followed eventually and got where he was at, and then found him. And I was like, "What the fuck?" And he was like, "Tom said that he threw all the food on the ground." I was like, "No way he did that." He was like, "Yeah, he threw all the food on the ground." I was like, "What the fuck?" He's like, "Okay." And then we stopped there and kind of chill back on the rail and smoke some weed, smoke a couple bowls. And then we start walking again.
Did you pick all the food up, or was it no good back then?
It was still in the box. And we keep walking past Allstate. Then we take a left and you walk down the highway, and it's that first right after that. And then you go down her road and there's a stop sign, you take a right and you just follow it. And then I just recognized it. Well, I didn't know, honestly, I've never been there before. But Brad recognized her house, but I could recognize the house. That's the reason.
Looking at a map right now.
This is your place right here, okay?
Alright, hold this. Show you. Okay. So this is the Wesley's house. Hold on. Oh, this is, I want to say this is an old picture. They should have a new house right there.
Yeah,
Oh,
there's a picture.
okay. So there should be a power line trail that goes through here.
Okay.
And right here, this is the yard. Okay, so there should have snow machines right there. And I walk through them, walk through the woods. There should be a rope right here with the tree line. Walk over it, walk straight through there. Neighborhood, keep going. Go through this, take that left kind of round I told you. There's that. There should be cones there. You walk here. Okay, I don't know. Now this is a lot.
Because you end up.
Oh, this is.
Right there.
Oh, that's when it was a bunch of.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. I can't really. I mean, I can try to show you from here. There's all these trees are gone. All these trees are gone on the trail. There's frozen out right here. It goes down and pops up. And oh well, I guess it's further than I thought. Walk this way. Should go down like that. Up, top of the hill. I guess that's all the way over here. I mean, the school's right here now. I guess.
So it's over here in this region
The
then?
school should be here right now, honestly. The
Yeah,
school should
a
be
lot more land is clear, but yes.
So then I follow it out, and I walk this way, and this is the road. This is the road you pop out at. And I walk this way, go up here. Hold on. Okay, yeah. This is the one. That's the and we walk up this way. This right exactly there is where Brad drops the food, and here's on this rails where we smoke. And we pick it up and we keep walking. We go walk. Come on.
And I know where Alyssa lives, so you don't have to show me that. I know the road you take. Yeah, I take a lot to just go straight. Okay.
So did you answer where the rug is?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's just an old, it's just an old picture. Guys, real quick. The phone, where was the phone at David's phone?
It was snapped by Brandon.
I understand that. Where was it before that?
Before? What do you call it?
It was Bronco, or no? The whole time you were at your house?
No. It was in the trail.
Okay, so it's in the trailer?
It was in the trail.
So you grabbed it. They grab it off him, or they grab it in the trailer?
They said go grab his phone. He said okay. I grab his phone.
What else did you guys take from David? Honestly.
That should have been it.
You didn't take anything else from David. Did anybody